All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Arena podcast, aka the Wopcast. Today, Firas and I are joined by Obabo and Thompsin. Thank you guys for coming back on.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So
nice double or 4-man pod once again.
Yeah. So we just got our third collab, the Assassin's Creed units. We got 21 new units dropped into the game. Complete mismatch of 4 and 5 stars. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to use any. I know Obabo you have, Thompsin and Frost. I don't know about you guys, but what are your first impressions? We can start with Obabo because I know you've been using them, but just first impressions of like the collab as a whole, I guess. Like anything good for RTA that you found?
I mean, I like the collab a lot overall, and I think the units are like RTA viable with how their kits look, but they have like small things. Like most of them would be viable. They're just like lacking a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
So they probably, but I think that's what Compters are probably doing. Like after the whole cocky spectacle, they're like afraid of releasing
They're
something.
terrified.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, because they're super scared of like releasing something that looks borderline good, because it might just end up being broken, and then it's over. So I guess that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they look promising, at least I think most of them.
Yeah, I mean, I like the overall style of them being aggressive. They just need like, I don't know. We'll get into more specific on the ones we're talking about. But Thompsin, what are you thinking so far for the collab?
I think they're all like kind of not that good, especially like in a way where their stats are all really off. Like some of them are really good, but their attack is so high, and the other there's like the Bayeks, and they're really like their stats look really good, like 103.
Yeah, they have great stats.
Yeah, but then none of them is really good, even the LD ones. So yeah, a lot of the assassins look good. Like the Cassandras look pretty cool, but like they all have their base stat is so weird.
Yep.
Like you have to attack a lot of HP on them or something like that.
I was hoping when they released a bunch of attack types, they wouldn't do a bunch of Res Awakenings.
Yeah.
And then they did. Like, like
I
we already know.
I don't get it. I really don't get it at this point.
You can't justify it. You can't justify it. I don't know why they keep doing that, because that solves a lot of these issues, right? It's not like some of them have the right awakening. Like we were just talking about Cassandra before we started. And even though she has crit awakening, she still doesn't just do enough. And I've seen Obabo's build on it. It makes no sense to me. But
the 4 stars actually don't have any awakenings. None of them awaken into anything. They have no awakening buff. So they just have 4-star, terrible stats, and no awakening. They're like impossible to build. It's so ridiculous.
So this LD Bayek I got is doing nothing then.
You got an LD Bayek, the dark one?
No, he got the 4-star.
The light one. The light one.
Oh, it's like a Hanwoo, right?
No, that's the Nat 5 Ezio does that one.
Yeah. That's light Ezio.
Yeah. Which is a really
light Bayek
cool...
is like nothing. He does nothing. I pulled 3 of them.
I think if anyone gets a buff, he'll be really good. Because like he's the one with like good stats.
You just need to change his awakening. We already just want to change his awakening. Awaken into res. Like
wait, which one? Which one does?
Light Ezio, the one that ignores passes.
Oh, he does.
He awakens It's like right off the bat, like you already know what he needs, and that's it. Like,
I was pretty sure a lot of them was gonna awaken into like resistance after Battle Angels, because so many of the Battle Angels just awaken into rest for no reason.
How is that not fixed, man? Like I get when they first release it, like maybe it's like an overly cautious type of move for them, like you were saying, but like 6 months later, the Battle Angels completely suck. Can we get rid of the Res Awakenings, please? Like we know it's not going to break the game. Like you guys are good now. You can give it a real awakening.
There's a few really bad ones, like Savannah is still Res Awakening.
I know, and she's one of the few that gets away with it just because her base stats are so damn good. But yeah, it's rough. But if we want to go into the specific ones, we can start with, I guess, the free one, who I don't think anyone can have yet, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like just me slacking or if So, I mean, this guy, we already saw his skills, but now that I feel like we've seen the like multipliers of these guys, I really don't see how you're ever going to be able to use Altair outside of like guild content, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Does he
Base
have
HP.
what's his base speed? Is it like the Ezio base speed?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, it is.
98.
Ezio base speed,
Dude,
guys,
his
talk about that.
base HP is 9,300. He's a light nat 5.
What's his base speed?
98.
98.
Oh god, it's the Ezio one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Dude, he's like
he has
a
900. He has 900 base attack, but for what?
he has
You're not gonna-
his stats are worse than Lucian's. You would
Like
rather
what?
have Lucian's
No.
base stats. What do you mean?
No.
No, it's like the same base attack, the same base HP, lower base speed. He just has a little bit more defense. Like, why wouldn't you? I'd rather have
Okay.
Lucian.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you're
all the
100%
Ezios
right.
have Lucian base stats too. All the Ezios, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much, actually. Now that you mention it,
but worse because they're slower, and it's like
Yeah.
really important for them to be faster. So
This game.
yeah, I mean, we can go to the Ezios. I'm really disappointed in these. Have you guys used any of the Ezios yet?
I used the water one.
How did that one do? 'Cause he's the only one that I'm like a little bit interested in.
That one is like you wish he just has like 100 base speed, like
Yeah.
2 more base speed, or just a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, booster stripper.
He's good with like despair runes or violent runes, but like honestly, I have a lot like of other better units than Ezio.
Yeah, and he has the distraction S2. Like, have you guys got any value out of that S2 yet?
No.
Like, because you've tried him too, right, Obabo? Did you pull him?
I mean, I pulled him, but I haven't actually tried him because
okay.
because he was one of the ones that I was the most excited for.
Yep.
But then when I saw like his base stats and everything, it
Oh.
doesn't look that viable.
Yeah.
Because like
I
you
don't-
could just because I would much rather have like a Tiana compared to him in that case.
Right.
In like
Yeah,
Pretty much
like
every-
In every situation,
I think
he's better.
because he would have like for me like sure 100 base speed would be nice, but I would kind of need him to have like 107 to justify running him over like a Tiana or Jogan because those two are so like packed
yeah.
in for those situations. So it's really hard to
Have
justify him.
like the perfect combo where you go Gianna, Ezio, and Narsha, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the perfect combo is
That's
still
sick.
not good, you know.
That's so
Like,
sick.
pretty much Ezio's description just says bring Gianna and Narsha.
Yeah.
Or any,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. No, it's not that good.
But
I bet-
that's like one thing that I really don't like about the collab. Like compare the water SEO's S2 to the other S2, and then compare like water Eivor's S2 to Light's S2. Like there's such a big disparity in the S2s that it gets kind of weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I that S2 is just I can't believe it doesn't give you an additional turn. Like
I can't believe it's 3-turn cooldown.
even like it could be a 0-turn cooldown. You never use it.
No, you still wouldn't
it's a
use
waste
it.
of a turn. You don't even. I don't get it.
I mean, I will say though, like anytime you have that skill and you have a Chizuka on your team, it's actually really good.
Yeah, you
'Cause
just
you
get
get
you
two
just get
templates on
damage
everyone,
reduction. Yeah.
I mean, it's also very good because you can't actually like focus a single target if your whole team
Obabo's
is
being
frustrated.
very. Obabo's being optimistic, but let's just be honest. If you draft Ezio, you're not drafting Shizuka. The other team's drafting Shizuka.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then they take it.
Most
That's
likely.
what I'm saying. Because when I saw this too, I was kind of hoping that there would be like an Ezio with a like huge impactful skill 3, and they have
Yeah.
that skill 2, and then it's a really good pairing with Shizuka.
Yep.
And I guess water is just the closest to that, but then it's water, and it's also not really that good of a pairing with Shizuka.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
So it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Skill 2 saved me a few times when mine's non-violent, but skill 1 didn't deal enough damage for me. And my Ezio looked like it's just on like 185 speed.
Yeah.
No, 108 plus 188 speed on crit rate HP.
Yep.
With that, and it just I know it's not crit rate attack, but it just didn't do enough damage on skill 1.
They don't do any damage. Like the fire
get
one.
because everyone tells me it does a lot of damage, but
No.
mine don't deal any damage.
Which
I
one?
switched the Ezios, like, the ones that have nukes. So like I switched my Daphnis runes just like directly over to fire Ezio because he has the exact same base speed, the exact same awakening, and the exact same base attack. So he basically becomes literally just another Daphnis. You still have to land the defense break just like Daphnis does to deal any damage whatsoever. And then even in the situations where you do, he does like half of Daphnis's damage. It's so pointless. It's like, so now I don't strip, I still have to land defense break, and I do less damage. And I don't get a shield in return. Like, fuck that. He lost his runes so fast. I tried him like 5 or 6 times, and it's like, I couldn't even dismount Amasha, whereas like Daphnis is killing Amasha like 3 times over with that S3. Yeah. It's really, really bad.
I think I want to go back to like what Obabo said about like they're being cautious, but then I remember when they released the Battle Angel, Veronica also came out as she was, and so did Destiny.
Yeah, well,
right?
Dark Ivor's in here too, so
yeah, I was gonna say that because they're like the more I feel like they can release LDs at a like better state because they're not as afraid of people like wailing for them specifically because it's way harder, right, to hit it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's way easier for like a casual player to like spend a few dollars and get a one of the N5s.
Okay, that's
probably why,
true.
but
that is true. But
because I think the LDs
the gap is pretty fucking big.
Because I think the LDs are looking pretty okay actually. Mm-hmm. For these, like especially Eivors are really good.
Both of the Eivors are crazy.
Yeah, both of them are really good.
Even the light one, like it looks really good, but the base stats really suck.
They do suck, yeah.
No, wait, really? You think so?
She's super squishy.
The Eivor?
The light Eivor,
I think it's really fine. Like her stats are really good.
I think her stats are not that bad.
Obabo, like you have special runes, and a lot of people Zig has special runes.
Swift. They end at Swift.
People that don't have special runes, you know, like those flat HP and then those flat HP artifacts and stuff to put on like Ezio might have a hard time ruining Ezio. Especially in the meta, you need like stuff to deal with Masha Juno. You need stuff to deal with like Hollyberry, Cookie, and Molly. Like I don't think her base stat could survive a lot of those.
Yeah,
for Eivor?
For Eivor, yeah.
The light Eivor, yeah.
But I mean, the issue is like she also like she's the one who has the crazy speed, but she doesn't even need it. She gains 10 bar every single time anything moves. Like she's the one unit who could afford to have no base speed, and she's the one who's got the 118.
Like, yes and no, but mainly yes, because I just think about like Masha as an example. It just makes her easier to rune. Right, even if she's gaining bar,
she moves even more than Amasha does.
Yeah, she will at this point. Yeah,
10 bar per unit that moves.
But it makes up for her lower base stats. This is what I was agreeing with Obabo. Like her base stats make sense for like Eivor at least. She has a high speed, but she is squishy. So if she can rotate a lot of turns, you can get rid of her if she becomes #1 target.
It's just scary to use her. Like I think she is probably pretty good, but it's scary to use her when it's like, so if let's say you outspeed your opponent, then you're going to move a couple times, it's going to boost her bar, she's going to get out of her will runes, and Masha probably just kills her in one hit, and then if your opponent moves first, they're also going to give you bar, get you out of your will runes, and Masha probably kills her in one hit, so it's like it's just kind of tough.
I think she's good, but she just needs like really efficient sets to make her good.
That's probably true, yeah. I mean, what do you guys think about the I guess we can go to the regular element Eivors for things that people are more likely to have. I actually think one of them's pretty good, and it's not the water one, but what do you guys think of the water one first? Because she looks so exciting, and I've been trying and it's not working.
I mean, I think she's still exciting though, because I've been using her a lot actually, probably like 50 games.
So yeah, I've been watching the replays.
Okay. Is she like a Dominic? Is she a water Dominic?
Not.
No, not even close. Get that off the list. A quarter of her his damage.
I've dropped maybe like 40 points in total using her, and that's probably like in like my last 90 wings. But that's also like Fire Cassandra's fault, because I think Eivor has been performing better than Fire Cassandra for me.
She has been. I've
So
been
Eivor
watching
is-
the replays.
Yeah, because like the weird thing is her S1 is really good, but it feels bugged. Where she doesn't
never
just apply
defense
the
breaks.
defense break for some reason.
Yeah,
Because the thing
she
is,
never
it's-
defense breaks.
It's 40% times 2.
Yeah.
And I've used her so many times that it really feels weird, and it's the same thing for the passive where you strip. I'm pretty sure they just forgot to like add the actual skill ups to the unit. It feels like for some reason.
Oh, that bad is like 20%.
It's really weird. It's really weird. Because the thing is, I've been paying attention as well, because I'm trying to pay attention as much as I can to see if it gets resisted or anything. And there's so many times where it just doesn't straight up.
And that's
apply
a
anything.
65%, or that's a 70% three
Yeah,
times.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that should be activating almost every time.
Share with us, what's the stat you need to hit to get all 3 of her passive going?
So I was testing. People have been saying a lot of different ones, but the ones that worked for me was around 960 defense. I have 982 on mine, but 950, 960 was like the breakpoint that I noticed. For
It's really
speed,
high.
I haven't played around too much since I use her as a like fast stripperish unit, anyways. But I think you need like 140 for the strip,
Okay.
and then for attack you need around 850, I think.
I would love this unit if I could get one. What's
So
her
you
awakening?
do her like
Her
speed-
awakening is resistance. That's the fun thing.
Yeah, resistance.
Resistance.
Why?
You need
Like
every-
Arc awakening would be so good for her.
It would. Because that's all you need to do is just accuracy awakening. The rest of your runes are stats. That's
So this
it.
is this
Perfect.
is like the only thing that I want for the water Eivor. Okay, there's 2 things actually. Give her Arc awakening
And give her
Yeah,
actual
and give her
damage.
the other S2. Give her the other S2. Because the other S2 would make so much sense on her, like compared to this throwing axe to
The
your
other
thing.
S2 is sick, which is why I like one of the other Eivors.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
that
And the thing is, like, whatever will get the strip on that skill, right? So you could do a lot of fun things
Yeah.
with that S2.
She'll be like Ager, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And
Would be
that
nice.
5 Egger.
But yeah, she needs Ack Awakening. And like, I'm just really disappointed with her damage. Like, I tried her on a bunch of different
Yeah.
builds. I tried her just on, like, Swift, all-out damage, forget the defense requirement thing. Just try to, like, dismount a Masha or something, and, like, I was still falling short. Like, I could do, like, 85, 90 to most Mashas, and, like, the occasional Masha would get dismounted, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't hit hard enough. And it's
The
like,
thing is,
your damage is supposedly doubled. But
Yeah.
it's like doesn't feel like it.
Because I noticed when I was playing her, the S1 hits pretty much as hard as the S2.
Yep. Yes.
And
it
I thought the
does.
S2 would at least have a good multiplier, since
It has a
lit-
third hit,
like,
too.
It doesn't do anything. It puts
Yeah.
dots. That's all. Like the S1 is just straight up better usually.
Yeah.
But even as an additional damage unit, she doesn't perform.
I don't even use her as additional damage because she has S1 defense break. Her S2 is not that useful. So I just have mine on crit rate with like super high crit damage artifacts
I
on
see.
low
It's
HP.
not quite enough multi-hits, I don't think, to be
Yeah.
additional damage only. I feel like she has to be critting in some form. But
Oh,
Well,
that's-
if the unit has a built-in armor break, it's good on crit rate.
Yeah, exactly. And thing
Yeah.
is also her passive, like passive increases damage dealt by 100%. That screams for crit damage or crit
This
rate.
is true. I would probably try additional damage build just to punish myself.
that was the first thing I tried to.
Oh, you already did try it.
Yeah.
I thought you just skipped that.
I made it like
And-
faster than my Oliver and stuff like that. Just really, really tanky, really fast.
I think if I
Additionals
were
for
to-
strip, but
I think if I were to like go full additional damage on her, I would just much rather use Miles every game. It would be like
That's
Well,
a good
the same
point,
page.
I don't have a
actually.
Miles.
That's-
But
A Miles is a special one. That unit is probably one of the best damage dealers in the game right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I wouldn't know.
I don't use
But,
it enough. You wouldn't.
Oh,
Moving on.
sorry.
He's one of the. I think I'm missing outside of these new assassins. I think I'm missing 3 Nat 5s, and he's one of them. So
Love it.
yeah, it's brutal. I mean, I was missing Zabala too until yesterday. So thanks.
Bala's way better for you though.
Yeah, no,
Well, actually, as a Wedjat owner, I think you'd want Miles more, but
I want him.
not to
I, mean,
depress you any further.
I wanted Zabala more, but either way, like, have you guys tried this fire Eivor?
Let's talk about the fire one.
Like,
curious.
I actually
I haven't
really
tried it.
freaking like this unit. Like, she hits super hard on like a crit rate build. That S2 is sick, and I didn't even know what her passive did until I actually got into an RTA match with her and was using her. But she heals every single time an opponent moves and doesn't attack her. Like, I thought it was like a Kyle thing where it's like, if you get your turn and they hadn't attacked you, then you get that extra thing. I just thought that's what that passive said. But it's every single time they move. If their attack does not go into her, she heals herself. Like,
All right, so
a
listen.
lot. It's crazy.
That's where the Ezio skill 2 comes in.
The
The
what?
fire Eivor. The Ezio skill 2. The threat state.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey, we already have a unit like that. It's called Water Thousand.
Well, no, that's how I thought this worked, but it's not.
It doesn't.
No.
Because with Water Dulcium, they can just, any attack that they send into it at any point will deactivate his passive. On hers, every single attack has to go into her. If they get her into half HP and don't continue to funnel every single attack into her, she just heals it all back immediately. Like, doesn't even need to get a turn or anything. She can be stunned. She's just healing constantly the whole time. So I was trying to reverse like Gyu and stuff, but the only issue is just that she's a 4-star and her base stats are pretty scuffed. But
There's always a catch.
there is always a catch.
Not the regular. Wow, her base stat 500 attack, 8,000 HP. Really?
No, but
Well, no.
That's
That's,
5-star.
that's
5-star.
That's-
You're looking at
Yeah, it's
okay.
better than that. Here, I have it
isn't it
built. I can tell you
isn't
what
it like
they are.
same like Water Eivor probably? Like close to it?
Yeah, so her attack, she's like Chow kind of. She only has 670 attack, but she has almost 12,000 base HP and 527 defense, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But she has
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
but none of the 4-stars have awakenings. So you
Yeah,
don't get
no.
you don't
But-
get any free stats. There's no accuracy for the defense break. There's no crit rate for the damage build. Like, it's so hard to do anything without
so
an
same.
awakening.
So it's like, what if they just give all the 4-stars rest awakenings? and
Oh
just leave it
god
at that?
damn it.
Same.
That's what they'll do too. They'll be like, yeah, we felt that these units weren't good enough without awakening, so we give them all res.
depressing.
Yeah.
Actually depressing.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I know the wind one people were talking about being good for PvE. I don't know if anything's come out of that. Is she
I
good?
haven't pulled
Is there-
it yet. I haven't pulled it yet to test it because the wind one is what I want to test with the Nyx, specifically with farming for a Steel Fortress. But I haven't had the chance to like test anything. I haven't even asked Shrubia yet, actually, if he's
Yeah,
tested
I'm
with
curious
Library
if
yet.
she happens to be
'Cause if
better
they-
than Tatu
With
or
the
not.
AI, if the AI for S3 is like if somebody already placed the dots for her S3 is kind of like tattoos where it just automatically wants to detonate it. That's where this idea comes in. And because she'll probably do way more damage than a tattoo does, then you can build a specific speed team for SF and a little bit in Giants.
But don't you need like 3 turn CDs for the PV things? Because I'm pretty sure she's 4 turn CD on her skill 3.
I have no
it
idea.
is 4 turn,
I
yeah.
haven't even looked at it.
So
But-
you probably won't be able to do like.
You
turn
won't even
into
have
turn.
it when the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no!
You're not going to deal enough damage. Like, there's no point. You're dealing damage with crit damage, continuous damage, right?
You're 100% right. All right, well
Yeah.
that idea's out the window. She's trash. Anyway, so the LDs
Yeah,
are
well-
pretty good.
The dark one. I mean, that just looks like the most fun unit ever. And like,
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's enough to make cleave good, but like, why does every unit that kind of helps out cleave have to be a fucking LD5, man? Like, they're all LD5s.
Probably because most of the most like I would say the best cleave counters are also LD. So I don't know what they're doing. Like Jackson, Tian Lang, all that stuff is so premium compared to the regular counters.
yeah.
And I guess they put the best cleave units in dark as well with like Maxi, Nephthys, Dark Eivor.
It's still
all that
it's
stuff.
still so tough
Trinity.
to cleave even into like Abelios and Mollies and now Water Hollies. Like, it's already going to be difficult. It doesn't help that all the best units are LD5s. So, I mean, who knows when we'll even get to see a Dark Eivor team like surface, but she looks so fun.
When
Sure,
Dark
we can just
Eivor
rest.
does skill 3, does it put your units on cooldown? Or like,
No. It doesn't.
No.
It's
Wait,
just like a regular
put them
team.
No, I
on
mean, like,
cooldown?
It like if your units go first, let's just say Eivor gets stunned.
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yeah,
Eivor
it reduces their
boosts,
cooldown, yeah.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
for sure.
wow.
But
Jeez, imagine this. Imagine you have 3 of them and you can do the best Dragons team ever. Imagine.
Oh, shoot, that's crazy.
Man, I just want to do like a Jamair Elsharian Dark Eivor team.
yep.
It's Jamair with the S1 attack buff, random
Yep.
attacking something. It's just gonna kill it, and then you just refresh Dark Eivor again, and you just kill their whole team in 2 team ups.
Because you can just like, because you can just run like Escher as like the other Swift unit if you need it, and then Jamair and Elsha just crush off of the speed buff too. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's so good. But
And 103 base speed too. Actually, not 98, where we could complain about.
and
like,
it's a
103.
30% bar boost too, right? Or did I just make that up?
30.
No, it's
Yeah,
30.
Yeah,
30.
that's
30.
fucking crazy, man. All the
The thing is-
bar boosters they've been coming out with lately only have 15.
The thing is, I think Craig would be almost as good as her if Craig had 103 base as well. Like
Yep.
Craig is just so
He's
capped by his
so
base speed, it's
broken.
kinda sad.
Yeah.
But she's
he would be
balanced.
really good otherwise.
She is balanced by the fact that she awakens into res.
And into the shitty S2. So she's like basically S3 into just being a defense break.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty good for her.
She's got that going for her, I guess.
I'm ready to see some cleaves like resurface again. Like, I wish these units were regular elements and people could actually use them and make fun comps and shit. But
Yeah, man. I remember there's a guy called Foxy SW. You guys remember him?
Yeah,
And,
of
like,
course.
You can't just kind of cleave anyone anymore, you know?
yeah, I mean that's why they all quit. Like our friend Caleb, he quit just because it was like, okay, cleave doesn't work anymore. I like to cleave. Like, I'm not here to play 30-minute matches. Sold his account. See ya. Like, sucks.
He had pretty good like cleave account too, but again, runes are irrelevant when there's 1,000 counters to everything, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Totally random. Why do you have a toilet in the back?
So moving on.
Oh, funny story. Now we were cleaning out under my stairs, and
Got it.
it was my daughter's.
Okay.
It was my daughter's training thing. I'm like, let me
No,
just.
it's cool. It sounds like some type of like streaming stuff, like you know. Like,
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's for
stream related.
it's for toilet summons.
Yeah. You never know when you need to do a toilet summon.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I thought something like that. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We can do the Bayeks now. I mean, what do you guys think of these guys? I don't know.
I actually don't remember.
Like, so I've been trying the water one in RTA just because it's the only one that I really pulled. He's kind of cool. I mean, he does a ton of additional damage, and he's like a mini Oliver who just doesn't gain the bar back. he constantly
With no
puts
speed lead.
yeah, he constantly
And
puts
a-
them
and a-
to 0, but he doesn't gain the bar back, so that's not as good.
I know Bayek's. I mean, I think those had like the most bland kits. I think
Yeah,
at all the units.
Oh, I was tripping out.
They have like a nice body, right?
they
Yeah.
look sick.
They all have good base stats.
Yeah, but
I think
Oh, they actually do.
I like
They
I
absolutely
like
do.
the Fire One's kits. I really wish I pulled this thing. I like what I'm seeing, but I don't know.
I think Dark One is the one I like the most, but it would need. I thought it would be like a base speed unit with the way it
I
was.
think Dark is so garbage. The random target stun.
I mean, it is
that could
kinda
go
garbage, but I
into
think it was-
anything.
I think if it was a 118 base
Yeah, I
instead
guess.
of the 103, it
Yeah,
would have been useful. But come on, that's not even that far fetched for it to have 118. I think it
it's
would be
not.
nice.
He would still
it
be worse
would-
than
it would be
Celia. He would literally still be worse than
he wouldn't.
Celia.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he
If he's
would.
118, he'd be better than
No,
Celia.
he's not, because he doesn't strip. Not with
He
the
does strip.
not with the stun skill though.
Yeah,
So-
but you could still like strip silence a unit with 118, and then you still have the eagle that could attack something potentially.
Yes.
So it would have use. it would have
Celia's
use.
better. Celia's
At least
better.
you could choose. At least you could choose who to silence and stun, right?
Yes.
Well, can't stun, but then like you could choose who you silence. But Man, you're not a Celia owner. You don't understand.
You don't
understand, man.
I'm saying she's bad and he would still be worse, which is that I'm saying I'm agreeing that she's bad, but he would be worse.
No, I'm saying if he 118 base speed like Celia, he will be worse. He will be better than Celia. That's what I'm saying.
No way.
I think they will both be better than each other in some way. But I would rather.
And she does it every turn too.
All you guys see are Celia replays when Celia land things. But
I think she's terrible, but still better than him.
I think doesn't do anything, and all of a sudden her skill 1 doesn't do anything, her skill 2 doesn't do anything, and you're left with a unit with your fast set.
This guy would be the same way.
Yeah.
This guy would be literally the same way. You would still have to land double act check, just like Celia, and then your stun would be completely random, just like Celia. At least Celia has the option of they're off will, I can click an S2 and maybe get something. He doesn't even have that option. His eagle will still beam for a Josephine, even in the there's nothing you can do.
I will pick Vanessa.
More accurately.
What did you say? The eagle?
I said I'm assuming Bayek's skill 2 lands more consistently than Celia's random strip.
It's just 285s. I mean, maybe.
Okay, so what if they made it so so what if they made it so Bayek like skill 3 would prioritize the units with the least buffs on them?
That'd be good. I mean, if Celia's gonna
that'll be good.
Seek out immunity buffs, I don't see why he wouldn't do the opposite. Well, I mean, she also still does way more damage than him because she's speed scaling and that first skill hits 25k. But
that's why Vanessa, Ethna, and Celia. That's the team.
No.
Don't say that. Don't say stuff like that, you guys.
I mean, it makes no difference to me. I don't have the fucking unit. I don't care.
You can't compare Celia with Dark Bayek. One's F,
she's
the
better.
Other How do you get better
F
than
plus?
Okay, so the thing is, I'm gonna say it. Like Celia for me is like comparable to Dark Monkey a little bit. And I think
they're similar. I mean, there's very similar units. I mean, there's not much difference between the two.
All right, sure.
Well, actually, Celia does better into full will. So.
No, both are pretty good into full will. I think I would use them together and just.
Oh yeah, if you have both, I'm saying if you're choosing between the two.
Yeah. Wait, Obabo has Celia?
No,
I have
Dark
Monkey.
Yeah, Dark Monkey is better than Celia.
Yeah, he's better, but
try them.
I think they're
together.
very similar.
Try them together with Ethna, and then just kill.
Oh no, it makes sense with Ethna without the Celia. Maybe
without the Celia. Yeah, just hold the Celia.
No, Celia is important. Celia is important because you get so many defense breaks.
She does do a lot of damage. Dude, ACOG's gonna love this episode. How this turned into a Celia debate.
Did you just sneak that in, Zig? She does a lot of damage.
She does do a ton of damage.
No. We have to, like, in G3, these units have to be like at least plus 225. So you're telling me she could deal a lot of damage plus 225 on crit rate.
Yeah, it would have to be on crit rate. Yeah.
You can run a speed crit rate accuracy and still do damage.
Thank you. Okay, all right. I'm just not there yet. Okay, all right.
Okay,
yeah.
I ruined up my Dark Monkey right now, and he's on speed crit damage accuracy. It's gonna be insane.
A lot of
my god.
Well, okay.
Not even crit rate, crit damage. He's gone.
Yeah, because my crit rates runes are for better units. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So fire Bayek.
Yeah. I mean,
Dark one's depressing. Get it?
The dark one is the dark one's the biggest rip. If that, I mean, I don't know. Light Ezio is supposedly a massive rip too, so I don't know.
No, Dark Bayek is not the biggest rip though. Like I still think he's more interesting than a lot of the other.
Another idea of the dark one, but different from what you guys say. I feel like the dark one should be able to stack stuns.
Like put it like a.
Oh, that would be
crank
nice.
it up to like a 2-turn or something.
Yeah. No.
Like eagle. Just say like your wind robo goes, and then the dark one goes. He could stun technically he could stun up to 3 turns. You kind of feel what I'm saying here?
Just make it so the
Yeah.
just make it so the eagle also like prolongs all the debuffs by
Yes.
one turn.
Yes, he prolongs stuns.
Yeah,
see,
stuns and everything.
I don't know what's better. Like, I mean, yeah,
Everything, yeah.
I mean, prolong is like, I don't know if they're ever going to do it, but they could at least give the eagle the right AI to like maybe target the thing that's not stunned or whatever. Because like if you use it with any other despair unit or whatever, there's a pretty good chance that the eagle just goes at the thing that's already stunned. So like they could at least start with giving it smart AI to go target something else.
And that's what I'm saying. They don't need smart AI. If it hits the unit that's already stunned, it's a 2-turn stun.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. I mean, obviously that
They
would
will.
be
They
obviously
will.
that would
They will
be
do it.
sick. That would be
They can do
sick,
that.
but they're not
No,
going
I
to
think
do
they
it.
will do it.
Obabo's
believe
betting
it.
his life on
That's
this.
way too creative for like come to us's
No.
brains.
It's fine.
Like it could steal 2, and then violent proc into steal 1, and then like essentially still like 3 units, or stack stun or 4-turn stun. It'll be really
But
cool.
in 8 months, when he gets his buff, it'll probably they'll probably just change his awakening. So,
No.
Okay, you're right.
but I mean, it would be cool to have like a passive prolonger.
Actually,
yeah,
one
I don't know.
thing that I can say about the like Eivor skill too, if they were to buff that skill, they should probably give it like 20% absorb per hit. On that shitty skill. Like
that would
the
be
axe
sick.
throwing
I
thing.
mean,
That would at least be something.
you just
want to injure.
yeah.
That's
I
it.
was just gonna say the same thing. You just
I mean,
want
the thing
Aegir.
is, she is like an ager, but I mean, what can you do? She's built like an ager.
You just want it to be just use Aegir. Just
She's
use
actually
Aegir.
the inverse of
Okay.
Aegir
but
now, though.
Ager. Yeah, Ager got kind of nerfed by his.
That's
buff.
what I was gonna say. Because now he takes
right.
increased damage, she takes decreased
Yeah.
damage, so she's like the inverse of him. Like
Yeah,
that.
but, okay, sure. All right, okay, fine. Give her ATB absorbist.
But yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I'm down.
The fire Bayek though, like, do you guys think you could use this in the Carnal Molly comps, but instead of the Carnal? Because I think you can. I think he's even better than Carnal in that situation.
I think you're tripping balls, but I'm trying. He does strip.
Because
He doesn't have the base stat
I would
for it.
rather have the strip, the single target, and not a stun than Carnal. Because
I want this. I want this guy.
like
I just decided.
when I was copying your comp for a while for us, like
Yeah.
the amount of games that Carnal is in, like when you're doing like the first pick Carnal drafts, that you don't even click Carnal's S3 because there's something on Revenge over there. There's a water cookie. There's a Josephine. And you don't even click it. It's like because it's like too many things can go wrong. I would so much rather if I could have swapped Carnal out for this guy in every single one of those games. I feel like the results would be way better.
Okay, so I feel like
I might.
I would
agree,
say
though. I might.
I would say I would much rather have like Kumar. Kumar is the pick that I
What?
need.
Okay.
Where's that
Kumar
come
instead of
from?
both of those.
Kumar is
invited
fucking
this
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, Kumar. Yeah,
Who
Kumar's good.
invited this guy?
Hey, yo,
He is
Who invited-
good.
Dude, skill 1 strip and it
Yeah.
heals?
Strip
Bro,
and silence on that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're missing.
Yeah.
You're missing the part where his guy hits 5 times.
On a
You're missing the
on a
part.
2-turn cooldown and heals
Yeah,
it
but
and full
Kumar-
cleanses himself.
Kumar
Yep.
strips and silence.
Exactly.
You're missing. This is don't.
On that
Where are
one.
you getting Kumar from?
First of
Because
all,
Kumar,
Silence?
Kumar's gonna-
silence
Kumar's
is
already
the
hit 5
fakest. Silence is the fakest buff in passive meta that you could ever have. Like silence is
Bro, what's this guy's
irrelevant.
awakening?
I'm
What's his
hard
awakening?
carried by Nefties.
It's strip.
Yeah, because of the
silence,
defense
by the way.
break and the speed lead. The silence is like an added
It's
bonus
strip
to
silence.
Neftis.
Strip silence. So you can just perma silence Masha, for example.
Yeah.
No,
Strip silence Masha.
He's not saying that like Kumar is like S tier. He's just saying he rather has Kumar
Than
over
Fire Bayek. No fucking
you're-
Yes,
shot.
I do. I
And
do. I do.
it's
I-
such a lie too, because if you
I'm
pull
not
if you
lying.
pull Fire
You're a
Bayek,
straight up lie.
I know you're gonna use it, and you're not gonna use
No,
Kumar.
I won't. I mean, I would use Firebike for content anyways.
Yeah. Well,
But,
where's the Kumar?
I mean,
where's the
Kumar's
Kumar
better.
content?
Cardinal is
Bro.
better than Bayek for sure.
I don't know.
Thank you, Thompson.
I
Thank
want
you.
to. I want to test it to say,
You-
but
you-
because
two
I don't know
reasons.
what multipliers.
2 reasons why. Bison, leader skill. That's a big one. And then
It's
second
massive.
one, Bison has a better looking body than him.
Okay,
He
yo,
has a six-pack.
look. Between
You
Cardinal or Bison,
don't know
forget
what's
the-
under that robe.
Yo, you
Bayek,
guys-
Bayek could be
Cowboy.
shredded.
Cardinal or Red Bison? Who are you talking about being a better body?
Are you talking?
Cardinal or Bison?
Oh,
Go for them.
Are you talking about Street Fighter or
I'm
Slayer?
talking about stats. I'm talking about stats. They have better. He has better stats.
Why are you talking about his body, dude?
His body is
I thought we were
stats,
talking
you know?
aesthetics.
Okay,
dude. Now
but-
you're talking about
but-
stats.
He doesn't have better
so
stats because
disappointed.
Bayek is 5 speed faster at the cost of 1,000 health. Like I'm okay with that.
The health matters. The base.
Of
health,
course it
Yeah,
matters, but like
They have, like,
I'm
identical
okay
stats.
with that trade.
No, bad trade.
yeah,
For Carnal Molly. It is a bad trade for Carnal Molly. And listen, Kuma is
No,
also 98 base, just like Carnal.
But
So, like,
but
Kuma
to
is definitely
say
the better.
to say
so
that
you're somehow trying to
sacrificing
tell me-
to say that sacrificing 1,000 health on a unit who every 2 turns recovers his HP by 40% is ridiculous.
But Kumar's not a. I mean Kumar. Oh my God, Obabo! Look what you got me saying. Arnold is not like an AoE stripper. He doesn't need that aggressive speed. Like you could go ruin him like after a stripper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The thing
but
is, Bayek.
Yeah, that's how everyone uses him. Most people use.
I
him
just
now.
think this
Sure,
guy's
but
better in longer fights than
No,
Cardinal.
listen.
I am open to the
Especially,
idea.
especially as the first pick, like
I'm-
those guys pick Cardinal.
But the leader skill.
I mean, they're
It does
usually
matter.
they're
but there
usually
is
using
other
Molong and
units.
shit anyway, so it doesn't even.
Yeah, like
there's other
Molong
leaders.
Bazooka, it still there's a lot of other relevant HP lead options that would replace it. I'm not saying I'm shooting for Bayek being better than Cardinal. I want to test it for myself first.
Okay.
If I can pull one. Yeah, and everyone knows me. I love my first pick Cardinal. I would definitely try this guy. Like I'll just literally throw over my Cardinal runes. He would
Okay.
actually still be perfectly
Actually,
tuned.
I think I love Fire Bayek now. I would use like Fire Bayek and Water Ivor every game. Water Ivor strip defense breaks. Fire Bayek one shots with the skill 3.
He will one
he's
shot
the
too.
And he awakens it to crit rate, not res.
No, he
So
awakens
what
into.
is it?
I thought he awakened into accuracy.
No, he awakens it to crit rate. I just went through a lot of people trying to figure out what it was. So even if you built him, you could technically even have both of these guys, Cardinal and Bayek. Rune.
Oh yeah, I
would-
guess it. Yeah, it would never be accuracy because he doesn't.
Would you
have,
guys
like,
rather
really
have
many
heal
debuffs.
block on skill? Would you guys rather have heal block on skill 1 or provoke?
Provoke.
Honestly, it depends on the match.
Provoke.
But
Yeah,
most of the time,
provoke.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the thing is, S1 heal block is only good for like CC units because those are the units that need heal block, kinda, but they never have it.
Hear me out though. If you're using Shizuka for the HP lead, everybody gets the heal block, and he
Yeah,
provides.
and then you get Juno, then you die.
Okay, don't worry about the Juno. He can kill the Juno. I believe in this S3.
No,
I
he
need to
can't.
see this, though. Don't you have this yet? Wait, nobody in this chat has this guy? The
I mean,
Fire
Thompson must have pulled it.
No, I didn't get it.
Oh
Bayek?
really?
Oh my god.
Did you
I
get
have
dude? Did
a-
you get scammed
He
too?
fed it.
I got like the middle one. I got this one.
Yeah, Ezio. I got
I
that guy
missed the
too.
middle. I'm missing him.
Dude, I got. Did you get scammed too on your AC scrolls?
Oh, I did like 24. I think 24 of the scrolls. I got all nat 4s. But
Yeah, I got all nat 4s
I-
too. I did 29
No,
of
I
them.
take it. I deserve it because it went crazy for me for the Hollyberry cookies.
See,
Like,
I just
got all of the Hollyberry cookies.
I just get scammed every
You
collab.
did get the LD ones too. You know, maybe it is deserved. You know,
I deserve not getting
I
anything.
think so. I agree.
Yeah,
Wait,
I didn't.
How many have you gotten like from events so far? Assassin's Creed scrolls.
One,
1.
right?
Okay, so I've done 8, I think, then with tuna 5s.
What the? I didn't buy this
And then I
second.
go-
I didn't buy
yeah.
this second wave of packs, so I just have the first wave, which is 29 scrolls. And Apse also did 29 scrolls, and combined we got 0 nat 5s and 58. 50 fucking 8.
Okay, so I think what happened is that I only got the LD 4 stars for you in your Assassin's Creed scrolls.
Yeah.
And then I got all the 5s in mine.
And then I kept pulling those 4 stars. I have 4 of the light Cassandra and 3 of the light Bayek. I have 7 fucking light 4 stars. And I have the dark Ezio too, who hits like a fucking noodle.
Yo, like Cassandra could be pretty good.
I've been
It's
trying
like-
her. It's kind of funny. It's like if you like gambling, like you like that unit, bro. It's crazy.
If the skill 3 has higher activation
God.
rate, it'll be good, right?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it though, like she technically on average will do more turns of stun than like an Okeanos would. Like even like pre-nerfed Okeanos. But the problem is there's so many Josephines and stuff. It's like if that's the one you happen to stun, then it's all just fucking. It's all for nothing, you know. That's the rough
stun
part.
the other 2 units. That'll be nice, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like on average, you're gonna stun 2 units, so you just gotta hope that it's the right ones, you know. But it's a cool skill. I like her. I don't know if I want to see her activation rate increase, because then she's kind of fucking nuts, and I don't know if we need that.
I think it should 70%. I think
70
fine.
is so good. It's such a
think it's
good
fine.
skill.
No. I honestly think it's fine with 70 on her.
Like on average,
Just-
fucking 6 turns of CC dished out, and it has a low cooldown too.
I mean, thing is, now it's like weighted more to 1 stun than getting 3 stuns.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think it'll be
I think
fine.
if you have
because-
70,
Obabo, do you know her second skill is AoE armor break?
yes, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Also,
I think it's
also bad activation. I've had like 2 games where it just whoosh, just nothing happens,
Oh.
and that skill doesn't even deal damage. So it just like does the whoosh, and like no resistance, no anything comes up, just nothing activates.
So you don't proc Revenge Word with it?
Yeah, it doesn't touch.
Oh, I mean that's actually cool then. I think because
Yeah,
then you could.
if it had
do
100%
some weird-
activation rate, it's good. Like
Yeah,
it's,
it should be
it's
100%.
just a defense break. Like it's worse than Galleon's skill. I don't
definitely-
know why it has.
I think
80.
Nana would be like the best comparison to it, I guess.
Yeah. So, but
So since it doesn't hit, it should be 100.
yeah. Also, have you guys seen the Dark Ezio and the way his passive works? Like,
No, I haven't seen it. I think he looks promising, but he's bad, right? Because of multipliers and stuff.
well, I mean, yeah, that he does no damage, but there's also the issue of it. The not being able to be counterattacked isn't even a thing. Like, it only.
Oh wait, so it's bugged.
Yeah,
Right?
because it only happens on that additional hit. But Revenge Runes only
That's-
check the
yeah,
first
that's
hit
fucking weird.
anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who cares?
Very horribly rude.
Really?
Who tested it? Who was it that I was watching someone stream? They tested on a Kinky, so Kinky still hit him,
Yeah,
but he
Okay.
of course.
What the fuck?
right? And then same with who's the other idiot? There's another auto revenge unit. Who is it?
The only
I
unit
forget.
it technically works against is Water Holly, who will check every individual hit. So, like, you do
no.
technically reduce your odds of getting revenged by Water Holly. But every
What
other
a-
unit in the game only checks the first hit, and his passive's not active yet. It only
I mean, there's your Water Holly counter then.
yeah,
With-
there he is.
With stats like that, no way it
He's
counters Water
so
Hollyberry,
bad.
man. Ooh.
They're pitiful.
Yo, Water Hollyberry is thick.
Yeah.
Too thick. Okay, forget Ezio then.
Who's even left? That's all of them, right? Ezio,
Oh, we
Eivor.
didn't really cover Cassandra's.
Oh yeah,
that.
Cassandra.
No.
I forgot about her. Yeah.
I'm gonna go
bring
back.
her
Where
up.
is she? I'm lost.
So
There she
I
is.
didn't pull any of these other than the light, so I'll have to defer to you guys if you've tried her. But I don't know. The fire one looks like just the ultimate Nem trap to me, because it physically can't get knocked out by the thing that it's Nem trapping. But I don't know if you guys have tried it or not.
But it's still multi hits can still kill it or no?
No, she gets
No, he can't.
Theomar's thing.
I mean, it can. Like Seratu can kill it basically.
Yeah,
Stuff like
something
that.
like that.
Like multi-hit strips can kill it
Okay,
one go.
but if the first hit of a multi hit triggers it, it's fine. Like her passive activates just like Theo.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
she's
but
just
thing is-
invincible
Okay.
for the next hits. Yeah.
But the thing is,
Okay.
I don't think she does enough damage to be a like consistent Nem trap now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, mine isn't on a Nem trap build right now, but it's 1.9k attack, and then like 230 CD skill 2,
Yeah.
and that hits for 27k. So like if
That's
you
so
like if
bad.
you're like if you're fighting a Chompong who might even have like some fire reduction, like even if you were on a Nem trap build, higher damage, you would still probably for like 32k, and he lives, and then you just lose.
You have to compete with Oberon and Daphnis, right?
Yeah, I mean,
At this point, I think she's competing with Covenant more than those. So it's like it's hard.
well, Covenant hits wicked hard. He hits hard in Oberon, right? So
Yeah, Covenant would hit like 40k with these runes, I think.
Yeah.
I have.
It's quite the difference.
It is.
That's such
quite
a
the fucking difference.
that's such a pitiful amount, dude.
And on
You
top of
can't
that-
even knock out a
on top
squishy
of-
unit with that. Squishy units don't even have that little health.
On top of that, her base stats are the same as Covenant, so she can't even take a hit like Covenant. From what I'm seeing.
I mean, she can.
Well, she gets
I mean,
invincible, so.
I ruined her this way because her passive kind of allows her to take hits. That's
Yeah.
the whole idea.
True,
That's why I thought she
but
would
you
be
should
good.
be doing way more damage
Yeah,
as
you should.
for a nat 5. Or like even if you want to use the Nem Trap idea, you put it on attack to lost HP. I really don't think you're gaining all that much damage, even if
Yeah.
you are at 0 HP. It doesn't make
But the
sense.
thing is, it's also hard to like buff that skill too hard as too, because Battle Angels have a really nice skill too, but it's impossible to like consistently use
Yeah,
because of.
you want to know why? Because of Res Awakening.
You just buff her skill 3, 2-turn cooldown, and she'll be meta.
I don't know about meta.
She wouldn't. I mean,
Even if
I would
you
like it,
spam
but
you can't kill. Like not until for the long game. You can't kill with it. Even in like so even if it does reduce its own cooldown, it still needs to kill to get that reduction of cooldown. So it doesn't matter if you reduce the cooldown.
Yeah,
You
well,
probably
she
don't kill
also
something
she
and then
also
you die
needs
to
the
it.
kill to reduce the odds that she gets killed in return. Because like, if you're not immediately turning the game into a 4v3, then this unit, why is it
That's
even
not-
there? Like, why wouldn't it just be a control unit or something?
I mean,
anything else
that's-
really? Like,
yeah, that's kind of what I'm comparing it to right now because like Chimeras with Skull deal like more damage than her S2 on
Hell
a
yeah.
way tankier build,
and they have way better
and
other
they have
skills.
like a skill 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to justify her.
And
Yo, it's-
Lagmaron's
you're a
stats compared to this
player.
thing.
Yeah, thing is, I think if I put these runes on Lagmon, I would hit like 38k no defense break on a Chompong or something.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
straight up turn 1 without attack buff.
And you
So
well you
it's-
could use even better runes because you don't need any crit rate. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
you could do 300 crit damage instead. But yeah, I mean, but these guys are promising. Like I think they're a small buff away from being good. At least fire and wind. But have
I feel like-
any of you tried the wind one
Yeah.
out?
I don't have that one, but
but I don't feel secure in this bruiser metal. I don't
Yeah.
feel secure bringing anything under than like 30k HP into like a fight, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here.
The water one looks really cool. The S3 for the water one, but I'm trying to think of like if I had one. I'm not sure if I pulled this one yet. Obviously, it's easy, but I just haven't pulled it yet. But in what situation with all these? There's no real other than GUI.
And there's
Who else
no
is
way
there?
you're killing a GUI.
You don't think so?
That thing's got plus fucking 35,000 HP, 100 res, so you don't even get the brand. Like, there's no way. You guys think this could kill a GUI just outright? The water Cassandra?
I mean, maybe if I say like crit rate or crit damage, Gyu. Because that's what I would do with like Gyu. I would rune her on a like crit rate build and just
You know
slap
what?
around people with it.
Minus crit rate, or it's supposed to be on crit rate. But,
I would just forego like 100 res completely on my Gyu if I were to use her. Because I wouldn't use her into like bruiser teams that much. I would use her more into the like super fragile control teams who are 85 back anyways.
Yeah.
And then just like, because the thing is, that's the thing with turn 2. Like, it's a weird dance now with turn 1. Because you kind of have to like, like let's say one guy picks completely 5 passes and goes super slow, then the turn 2 player can has to slow down themselves a bit and put like higher value units,
Yeah.
and then just run them over. But if the if the turn 1 player competes too hard to go with the speed and those like fast units,
Yep.
they'll just get run over by the passive teams.
Yep.
So I
don't
know
agree
you
with
I know you
all
hate like turn 2 right now, Sig.
Oh yeah, that's me. I
I-
stay getting run over by those passes.
But I feel like even though Cookie is really annoying, I feel like turn 2 is probably in a like healthier state compared to turn 1.
I
Because
don't
like
agree with Obabo because Oliver could skill 3 a Juno.
I don't
yes,
know.
Oliver is stupid. That's the thing.
Oliver
But the thing is, Oliver is less. I would say Oliver is less meta defined in this patch compared to the others, even though he's like the top dudes still. Because like now we at least have some passive comps where they like overcommit into the Oliver base speed units. They will lose to
I mean,
a full passive team.
I comprehend what you're trying to say, but I mean, Oliver doing a skill 3 on a Molly or doing a skill 3 on a Juno and it lands. Woo!
Dude, Thompson, you should have seen my stream today. Like my Cardinal Molly just gets absorbed every time by Oliver, and I just cry. And then
Fine, that's fine. Other than that, you're right. But Oliver is
yeah. Because thing is, that's the thing with Oliver. I feel like sometimes you pick a whole draft to counter Oliver, and then if he still lands, he's just like solo carrying the game anyways, even though you're supposed to counter that unit, and the other units don't even seem like that much of an issue anymore.
That's exactly the point.
Hard.
And I like Oliver's my least favorite unit because I think he makes turn 1 like. In my opinion, he's the reason why turn 1 doesn't really exist because or turn 1 battles don't exist because the person who gets him is like, okay, now I have the 33, like I can go for it, but your opponent's never going to try to match you because it's stupid for them to try to match you. But then if you give them the Oliver, now you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So it's like, what the fuck? Like there's no winning.
Here's the thing you guys don't know about Oliver. Oliver is like a Leo, but instead Leo's passive is full attack bar pushback.
Yeah.
They need to make Oliver's
Pretty much.
They need to make Oliver's skill 3 revenge. Like if you skill 3 something with Oliver, you get revenged by the unit you skill 3. Like something like that.
That would be so funny.
Because that unit is too I don't know.
Yeah. And like everyone every time we come on here and we complain about passives, people like counter with like, oh well, it's because you guys just like it's like Oliver's our least favorite unit. Like Oliver ruins turn 1 more than he ruins turn 2. Like I want Oliver gone just as much as the next guy.
The amount of months I wasted believing I could contend an Oliver just because I thought if I put everything in the 180s plus 180s, I'm like I can deal with Oliver no problem. And then as soon as the majority of people other than me had an Oliver and everybody outsped me, I'm like I can never play turn 1 again. Just it's off the table.
And he shreds mid-range comps too, because a lot of mid-range comps have like long cooldown skills, like no passives to help them get their bar back, right? So Oliver just decimates those teams.
The last balance patch buffed Oliver, because like now all the Olivers are built right.
Okay, but
like, your master ain't armor breaking on Oliver. I'll tell you that much.
I built one on accuracy now.
Okay, wait. I have an actual like nerf idea for Oliver that would probably be fine. Like, what if they made it so? What if they made it so you only like get the increased cool time if you land the pushback? That way, you would actually get countered by fire way more than you are right now. And but Oliver would still be.
I don't know. Like landing or adding variance to units is like never the way I want them to change things.
I mean,
like,
that's not even that much variance.
But
I would say.
But what I mean is like it's not going to change him in a bunch of the matches. But then in certain matches, you're still. It just makes it feel worse when you actually get pushed back and it still happens to you because it's like. I don't know. He still is going to be serving his purpose largely, but then in the increased situations where he does get the actual pushback, which is just a coin flip, right? That's all a chance to glance is a coin flip. It's just going to feel even worse when you lose that coin flip, especially if you're on a streak of losing that coin flip multiple times.
Thing is, Oliver in speed fights, I think is more. I don't know. It's hard to say because like Oliver is still like easier to pick than Isamath.
Oh, 100%.
But I don't think
directly counters the math too.
I don't think they're that far apart though in terms of strength. Like Vanessa could also be similar. I think the S1 is holding her back a bit.
Well, the issue is he directly counters those two. Like so, it's like
no Vanessa. Actually, Vanessa. Okay, so he does counter Vanessa now, but if they buff Vanessa's S1,
if her S1 was better, it could be pretty cool. Yeah.
If they buff Vanessa's skill 1 to land higher than Wusa's skill 1, then she'll be a better unit then.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what percent of Vanessa's S1 is fair?
50.
50, right? Like, I don't even disagree with you at 50 because I don't like. It's going to be annoying when a Vanessa keeps S1ing you and then keeps you on full cooldown for some reason.
She's Olivering you.
Vanessa's still
No.
one. I thought it was 30 or something. I thought it was like
Wait, revert this. Revert. I never said. Sorry, I take that back. I just realized.
Hey, the best way to counter Oliver is a fire Oliver. So just give her.
No, but
Oliver's
listen. Okay,
skills.
so listen here.
It's 20%,
Vanessa,
right?
yes, it's
Yeah,
20%,
it's
but
20.
it should be 50. It should be 50 is what I'm saying.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
it's like the same chance as a sleep, as a Wusa sleep. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
with
because the thing
way
is,
less reward.
compare it to like a skill 1 stun. There's so many units with like 70% stun, like 55 even.
Yep.
They could
Yeah.
easily put 50% on that without it becoming a fire Oliver, like you guys were saying.
No, I was
There's
just
no way
joking.
you
I was
can
just
do it.
joking. Like
Yeah, yeah.
in the games where she's like procking and like getting everybody, you're just like, what the fuck? Like I'm just getting
Yeah.
those games are going to be few and far between. But it's like all of a sudden you're getting fire Oliver. But
I mean, thing
Yeah,
is, you would kind of expect Vanessa to reset you like every
Yeah,
other
for
hit
sure.
in that case. Like now it's just weird when you like troll someone when you reset their Samath when they're gonna
Yep.
win with Vanessa and you like Lucian laughing them after resetting it,
yep.
and then
Does that make the other Valkyries annoying as shit though? Not really.
no, it doesn't.
They're
Like
ba-
a
they're all
Chroma wouldn't
bad.
even mind that.
Chroma,
Like,
yeah.
a Chroma is the only one it matters for.
I hate a
Camilla a
Chroma,
bit,
but
I
yeah,
guess.
it would be good.
Camilla a
good.
little bit it matters.
Yeah. Katrina doesn't matter. Journey doesn't matter. Yeah. Actually, you know what? 50% isn't horrible, especially when you compare it to an S1 stun or even the provoke. It's lower than a provoke chance, like from all the other.
Yeah.
This thing is, it would be better than a stun in some cases and worse than a stun in some cases.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
so I think it's fine.
generally
Yeah,
speaking, 1 turn increase is worse than 1 turn stun because you can still
Yeah,
get S1 and people and units have really good S1s. So like in most situations, it's actually worse. So
But when
The
you
only
S1,
the only
you
the only
just-
nice thing is, yeah, like only nice thing with increase is that you can like reset a unit that's already stunned
yep.
and then you get some value.
And you can like hit
Stuff like that.
Junos and not be constantly giving
Yeah.
her buffs and shit like that. But
But
yeah.
I think that would be like a easy change for her, and it wouldn't like break her. It would just make her feel better.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would like something like that so that because like I get frustrated that there's literally no such thing as a turn 1 battle anymore, but I also don't blame anybody because it's like the second if I do decide to take Oliver, what are you gonna do? You can't do
Yeah.
shit. Like what,
I mean, that's the thing, because I feel like 33 leads in general are problematic, especially when they're like
For
becoming
sure.
viable, like Oliver. So I'm not sure if buffing Vanessa is the way to fix it, because that just makes every 24 lead worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they either have to like just like buff a bunch of leaders to go up to like 28 or 33 to like actually become pickable again.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
do you
imagine
do,
Sierra 33. That'd be nice. I haven't used Sierra for
Oh,
like a
please
year.
don't.
I know.
No, but
right?
thing
Sierra
is-
at 33 is fine, but
Thing is, I would say it's good for the game if there's like more variance in speed leads, because
I want
there would be
no
so much
speed
more.
leads. I
Yeah.
want all speed leads gone from the game. You want to make him higher.
But that's
I
not
mean,
gonna.
the
But
thing is,
that's not
that
gonna
wouldn't
happen.
that wouldn't even change anything if you remove all speed leads, because that would just make it so base speed is the new speed lead, and it already is kind of. So
In a way.
I
But
think it's important to have it.
it also reduces the amount of lapping that gets done on your team when they get a free 33, which is technically higher because of certain base speed.
But-
sure.
I mean,
But
then you could just remove like speed buff and slow as well, because those like you could have a 120 speed team with like a Savannah Animal, and then you're gonna lap the enemy if they're like 350 speed anyways.
So that's if you can't cut
If we're
them.
talking about assassins this patch, I think with the Vanessa buff, it'll enable a lot of assassins to be a lot
Yeah,
better.
that's true.
Yeah, it helps them. They need to just do some damage though, because right now, if you're picking any of these over Daphnis, you're just throwing.
Not
Like-
just Daphnis, there's the Wind Cassandra, like there's Ethna. There's such thing as
Yeah.
Ethna. It's just like so
She
much
does, like-
damage.
She does like
you
the
know?
same amount of damage and cycles and 119 base speed and stuns. It's like she's got everything in her favor.
And sure,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the biggest one.
But it's,
Wait.
oh man, Oliver's so hard. Because I was gonna say, because now like I'm trying to imagine if Oliver didn't exist. Like right now, Samath would probably just be like
I mean,
the new
Oliver,
Oliver.
like what Obabo said about the meta is very true, but the problem right now is like Oliver, you can't draft like 5 fire into Oliver, right? So then the problem right now is like, the Oliver can land like a cooldown on your Cardinal or even on like a Molly, and then like game's kind of over if he absorbs a Molly like that, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's so much slower and
This thing
he
is,
just stunts
think-
their healing.
I think Oliver's like keeping Samath in check as well, because as we've gotten like better AoE strips like the Robos
Yeah,
Ironic and everything.
Samath is
value
so good.
is insane. Like Samath is really, really good. I would say he's even better than Oliver in some cases. It's just that you pick Oliver away from the
Yeah,
enemy.
this is true.
Because Samath is
I
harder
use
to pick into Oliver.
I use a ton of
Honestly,
Samath.
if you win the race of speed, picking Samath, it doesn't matter what Oliver does, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like Samath too, and like especially like in the games where like you're actually allowed to go double water, like Samath's value with the Shizuka is so insane. Like
Yeah, it's really good.
the slow spreading and this like you spread the despair stuns, and then the S2 is such a low cooldown, so you just keep ventilating it with the Shizuka. Like you get just insane games with those two. But
The thing with Samath is so that like Oliver is easier to pivot out of, right? Like if you pick a Samath,
well, that's
you're
the
probably
problem.
only
Yeah.
you're probably only like high damage Samath, because if you go no damage, your skill 3 kind of becomes useless.
Yep.
You want to say that Samath sucks on high damage or like, you know, like rage, or
Yeah,
Samath
it's got to be
really
despair.
sucks
You
on,
got to
like,
force it.
Empire, but it has to be on
I think
despair,
both are good.
and I like it really fast because
Yep,
like if
that's what
your
I do
speed
too.
is not fast enough and you get cut, your Samath is dead.
Yep, that's
I
exactly
was
what
forced
I do.
to run that for a while to use Samath to contend with Oliver's, and it was working, but my other units weren't keeping up with it, even though I was contending speed just fine. The issue
I don't have
was
my
that
Samath
in
that
the
fast
long
now.
run,
Mine's like 174, I think. Plus
I have
I had
170.
mine
155
in
on
the
mine, 'cause-
170s as well from when I was using it like that. But then
Yep.
the issue
But my
is
crit
in
rate's
the
a little
long run-
sus though, so like I've lost some games on because like I'm like 81, so like I've even had games where like I don't
Yeah.
crit a fire unit on the S3, and I'm like no. But
I think if his skill 2 lands, is pretty much game over.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really like some. I mean, I just like speed leads are supposed to make like they're supposed to make turn 1 battles interesting, right? Because like you kind of have to weave in too, but like Oliver is just so universally strong that it just the other guy, there's no reason for him to force 2 speed leads because they're just going to be strictly worse or strictly weak into your Oliver, and then like what are your odds of winning? Like you can't climb all season in those situations. It's just not good. It's just too disadvantageous to do that. So like he's just got to go. I don't know.
I think it's like if they were to make another like turn 1 33 lead to compete with Oliver, it would make so it like that would make it so turn 2 has to be even more broken with these like passives. for
No.
even
And I hate having to
yes,
chase.
it would.
I
That's
hate
the
having
issue.
to chase these Nat 5s too. Like
That's true. I could agree with
you
you.
know it's going to be a new Nat 5, and it's like, oh, there goes another $1,000 to maybe get it. Like it's nah. Just nerf
though,
Oliver.
I would say though, right after Oliver, Ryu is such a good unit.
I hate him right now, but
He's so good.
I hate Robos more than anything in this entire meta.
Yeah, but
I don't
Robo's
know.
not a speed lead like Ryu. Ryu is so good.
But the
It's
activation
Kira,
is
speed
what
lead.
gets me more from the Robos than the fact that Moore has a speed lead.
I've
Surprisingly.
had more de-runed this season. I'm all in on the Clara train instead. Because it's like I'm looking for the same thing. Like when I'm using despair more, I'm looking for strips, maybe a couple stuns. Like I don't usually need to push back because I'm usually way in front of people. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm looking. Clara strips and the stun is built in, and I can put her on violent. And I'm looking for the same result.
The same unit that counters Clara counters more. Water Hollyberry.
Oh yeah, of course. But that's why I like the Bio Clara, because I like the S1 strip into the water hole. Like that actually has saved me in a lot of matches to be able to just immediately take off those buffs the following turn. But
I don't think Water Holly does anything to more actually. I mean it's okay-ish, but I would say like
first turn she stuns more very often.
Yep. Thing is, I think it's way more important to have Will on your Mora now because of the Hollyberry.
Yeah.
But I will say that like
she beats him in a 1v1 though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's a thing that's kind of stupid with Moore, that he's like so versatile. He's a turn 1 unit, counters turn 1 units, and he can solo turn 2 units.
Yep.
Like he's brutal, like in what he does. So it's weird with him.
I just hate him right now because all the counters just come flying from the ceiling when you pick them, and it's just annoying.
I mean, we'll see how it will be in the special league, because right now I feel like if you have a despair will more, like if Holly gets despair done once,
yeah,
she's already done for it. I would say it's the Gio and Molly on their side that counter the more than the Hollyberry.
Yeah.
The Hollyberry is just there to be like, I don't know, she's weird, but she's like one of those like super high variance units. She can solo win games, but I feel like on average she's not that much of an issue compared to like a Molly or.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever beaten one. I lose. It's unreal. My losing my win percentage versus Water Holly.
No, Water Holly is really good, man.
I lose every fucking time.
Wow, it's like, woo, like Water Hollyberry and Healer. Wow, man.
Yeah, Water Holly, Molly, Gyu is like just. I wake up in cold sweats thinking about those 3 units. I lose every time. I just see the defeat screen in my dreams whenever I think about those 3 units.
I think
those like climb to like rank 1 with just like with his 2 LDs on Water Hollyberry. You know?
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it must be fucking nice to have good
I'm
LDs.
I'm rank 1 according to Thompson.
Like I would say when I see like Molly, Gio, Water Cookie, I either just go like units I can just spam S1 on, or I just like full send it with like Charlotte, Verad, everything. Just use your skill 3s all the time.
I tried copying like your Fengyan draft, and I always fucking lose. No matter what I do, I lose. It's crazy.
It's not the chosen one.
I know.
See, for me, it's just I take immunity. Like, yes, it helps that I have Patter. But if I didn't have Patter, I would probably use either Vela or Delphoy.
No, you wouldn't. You would not use those.
I would.
Yeah, that's what he tried. He made me ruin those units, and I was like, okay, these aren't Pater. I switched.
Delphoy is good, don't get me wrong, but his Oblivion doesn't land too consistently is my problem.
Yeah, it's bad.
I ran mine with accuracy slot 6.
Well, yeah, you have to. But
yeah.
Still.
Don't listen to Firas, Sig. I've only given you like good team suggestions.
Yeah, it's true. That team did, and I was thinking about re-runing that now that I have Zabala, because I think she actually complements that team a lot.
If you're looking for good immunity, maybe probably even better than Pater, just use Wusa. Wusa's so good.
No,
yeah, Wusa's good. Yeah, but
the issue is, other than Wusa, who else you got? And then that's where you start scrapping.
I like Adriana, but she is like a band magnet. Riley, yeah, kinda. Right, I like Adriana better.
I'm gonna say Riley sucks.
I don't like Riley that much. I like Adriana.
Fran though, Fran is really, really good right now.
I'll say that. So as a Ragdoll user, we love Riley and what Riley does.
Sure. But
what do you mean we?
Oh, me. Okay, all right.
On behalf of the Ragdoll community,
the worst community in Summers.
The most hated community ever.
What Riley does is they go, and then right after they go, you get a turn, and your Riley cleanses everyone, does attack buff, and then your whole Ragdoll team gets enabled. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
Like Fran beats turn 2 teams really hard, and she also beats like more 1-1. Like even a despair more, you just beat it. With Fran.
She can. Yeah.
I always love Fran, especially when you could ruin her on violent and goes before all your units. Except her base stats aren't that great.
Yeah, she's squishy. 400 defense or something like that. But...
Yeah.
But Fran is
abysmal.
I think Fran base stats are actually pretty passable for a Nat 3. Like if she had good base stats, I would never derune her. I would just use her all the time. She would like beat every single unit 1-1.
Yeah.
Like not a single unit would beat her.
There was a while she was the best unit in the game and had those base stats. Like they fucking nerfed her. So
get her on violent, which is the most optimal build for her. You just put her on Swift.
Yes,
that's
Swift
what
is what I always run.
doing,
Like Swift Nem. Swift Nem is.
Oh,
insane.
come on, Obabo. Don't you can put her on bio like a 190.
But the Swift Nem set is better for like soloing Moors and stuff, because like you start to lap with him, and then you just like she just does so much damage.
Have you guys never seen a Fran proc? It's
great. Her S2 is such a low cooldown, and it's so powerful. But
okay, but Thompson, have you ever seen like a Swift Fran with a 190 violent Shiho on triple attack who like hits for
Triple attack build, yeah.
with additional damage.
I remember that.
What?
That's
What?
the thing. Like I was using my Swift Fran with like an insane violent Ethna with El Shar and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you just
okay.
deleted stuff turn 1.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the idea.
But for me, I would still rather have Fran on like the fastest violence set versus like or you could just use like Bastet or something, right? Or even Jogun.
No, Bastet is one of my like. Bastet is not a real unit. I don't think. I don't know how people was always using that. Like,
well, like the 10 lead is
fine.
actually like in your comp that you were using. The 10 lead was actually
Yes,
like
it was
important
huge.
with Dark Monkey
It was.
and Ethna and stuff. Like 10 lead was like enough.
I don't even think I had Dark Monkey when I used that, right? Because
thought
that was
you were.
around like I didn't because it was
you were
before
probably.
it was before SWC. I mean, okay, maybe I was using it a little bit after,
Oh, that
but
could
I
be it.
was using it before SWC, and I got my Dark Monkey when I was leaving Korea, like at the airport.
That
Yeah.
sounds right. Yes.
Well, because I remember you using some Swift Fran after with your Swift Han Dark Monkey
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that
So
probably
maybe
happened.
that's what I'm mixing it with. But yeah, the 10 lead's really good with units like that have just crazy base speed and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can understand why people are liking this meta. It's just miserable for me. I just want to
I'm
play
feeling-
aggressive, man. I don't want to switch. I re-upped Swift for
There
9
is-
years.
There is nothing wrong with
Hmm.
playing aggressive because I have a friend called David. You guys all know him as Silent, and all he does is react. He has the fastest runes. All he does is react Swift.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, this meta comes like, bro, like wants to play this meta. He threw like 80 reaps into like a slot 6 Swift, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. That's all I've re-upped for 9 years. So like all my good runes are
Yeah, but-
Swift, and it's like you pick more than one Swift unit at once. Like what the fuck are you doing? You're
The
dead.
thing is, I don't think Swift is even better now. I think Swift is really strong still. It's just that like this meta is missable, but it's also really good because it's really hard to like one trick a comp and just win with it every time. Because there's so many like you kind of have to diversify your draft depending on the opponent more. Meanwhile, like last 2 seasons you just picked Oliver, Escher, Triton, and you just won because Oliver won before any team.
That diversify is right.
So it's
like,
hard.
and people don't realize how hard is it to rune up a bruiser. Like to rune up like a good Han, like Obabo, to rune up like a good
Yeah, that type of
What's
bruiser.
the other one you use? The Dark Cannon Girl? To rune up a good what's her name?
Bella.
Dark Cannon.
Ella, yeah.
Exactly, it's hard. To rune up a good bruiser is really hard.
Yeah,
Those
those
are harder.
ones are hard. But like the Douglases
No,
and the
it's a lot.
Water Hollies and the whatever, those are not hard.
Like, a lot of people got it
Takes
wrong.
mountain skill.
Like, let's just say easy one, like Tessarion. To rune up a good Tessarion is not easy. So bruiser takes a lot of skill bruisering.
Yeah, but I
A lot of
I don't think it's much of a bruiser meta right now. Like it's more it feels more counter picky to I mean we play from different perspectives.
It's both
because like
kind of I feel.
yeah,
Because thing is, like full passive teams counter the like full send turn 1 teams with
Yeah.
like super high base speed units. Meanwhile, like the bruiserish and more like mid range Jogun, Molong, everything counter the 5 bullshit passive things.
yeah.
So that's why it's like the thing is like one thing I've noticed is that there's no like. Do you guys have any first picks that you actually like right now?
Well, what I was
Cardinal.
First picks or-
Yeah, Oliver, I love
Cardinal.
Oliver.
well, what I was gonna say is I don't think you can even play turn 1 if you don't get first pick because if you don't have those final 2 picks and your opponent does, then they just drop 2 units that solo you and you can only ban 1 and they ban your last pick and then you're just like, all right, well, so like I don't know. I feel like you have to have first pick in order to play turn 1 effectively because then you get the final
Yeah.
2 picks and you ban 5th and you just call it a day. But I don't know.
I 100% agree with that. There's too many random ass volatile units that someone
Yeah.
can throw up for a last 2 picks.
Yeah, when you have a double pick
then
and
you're
then they
like,
can ban
what do
your
I do?
counter, so
it
it's
doesn't
rough.
matter at that point.
I don't know what to pick when I'm on the second pick. That's when I struggle. I'm like, I don't even like. Do I start to lean towards turn 1? Like, is that going to be a mistake? Like, I never know what to do on the double pick.
Kumar Ethna.
Did you just say
Kumar
Kumar?
Ethna. Yes.
All right, I'll build them tonight. Kumar Wedjat. Let's go. But yeah, I mean,
With your style, it's tough because like you're so aggressive in matching speed. So you're kind of similar to like Apsy. You guys are very like aggressive in your style.
Yeah, except that Sig doesn't have the LDs, but he's fast. So like if they combine their
yeah,
accounts,
we need to
no one
just
would ever be
smash
able to
our
combine.
accounts together. I need the wool young.
Actually, I think Zig and I should combine our accounts.
Yeah, that I would
It'd
like
be
to.
way more effective.
Yeah, because your violent
Well,
runes are
Firas,
fucking
you have, like,
ridiculous.
Great LDs right now, man. Firas.
No, it's my bio
His,
sets.
yeah,
I
but
don't
his
even care about
bio
the
his
LGs.
bio depth is just freaking ridiculous. So I
Yeah,
I mean,
it
those
keeps getting
are the
better.
farm, but then the units he have, it's pretty amazing.
yeah.
Now it is. All right. Now it is.
Yeah, you're living good. You're living lavish, dude.
The meta is very
Let me
like
enjoy it for now.
the meta is very like, okay, I pick like Water Ryu Masho or I pick like Oliver and then I pivot.
Yep.
And Firas has like the best pivot monsters, you know? Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I almost have all the best pivot monsters, but yes.
Yeah.
Wait, he doesn't. He's missing the regular element ones.
Okay, but
the
yeah, I
Junos
mean,
and the
Firas-
Abelios and shit.
Firas is still gonna lose to Robos, so it's fine.
I
Yep.
still lose to
Oh,
That's true.
don't
Robo
think
still
that.
ruined my life. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because you pick 0 Swift units with your counter picks, so you still get.
Oh, all my counter picks are Swift. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
but his
No,
Swift
they're not.
runes suck, so
Yeah,
they might as
but
well
that's
be
the
they
thing.
might as well be Vio.
Exactly. That's the problem. My Swift runes are absolute dog.
Okay. Swift Taegang 185 speed doesn't count as a Swift.
That's a
counter pick unit.
despair 185 set. Thank you very much.
Okay, game?
Yeah. Oh, I had.
Wow.
His
I
Swift's
demoted
on
it.
like it's still on like Clara and stuff, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
my fastest Swift set right now is
Clara
like
Ethna.
219. Yeah. No, Ethna moved over to Orochi. That's why I have the Orochi build. 'Cause I need
Orochi.
something with a speed lead, for fuck's sake. The built-in speed lead, so I can at least one-shot a Robo. And then they end up with 1 HP. I'm just suffering, I guess.
No, you're not suffering. You're overthinking it. Just stay turn 2 and keep bashing people's heads in.
Turn with who? Without taking Douglas and Antares, tell me how you fight the Robos.
Take the. You have a Douglas.
I don't
Just
want
take
to
a Sekhmet to Ethna. Sekhmet Ethna.
There you go.
Triton.
Without
Anything.
speed lead, they don't work. Without
They
speed
can.
lead.
Just put your 219 set on like Ethna or Triton, and you can outspeed 24 lead Robos usually.
I still got outsped.
I
I'm not
don't
even
know.
joking.
I mean, my
get
robos.
outsped.
I use slow robos on like they're swift, but I use like semi-slow ones. I don't even really.
So am I just fighting the fastest people on Earth? Is that what it is?
It's probably just people who put their best sets on them. I guess
Maybe.
the robos.
I'm gonna try it
I think
again.
when you were fighting me, wait,
What's up?
I just saw that my Robo was unruined. I need to fix that.
Uh-oh.
Like because mine is
gotta-
mine was 220 I think when I fought you for us, but I actually slowed it down a bit now to 210.
Yeah,
but I think
mine's
220 is
only
like the sweet
210
spot
as well.
for
You know what
Dark
that
Robo though.
means? Well,
210 in Nemesis is where they belong.
I think 220 is actually like the sweet spot, and that's super hard to get. I mean for Dark Robo that is, because then you can at least outspeed most violent units that have 33 lead,
Mm.
and that's a big deal for me, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, mine is still 210 now because it was like when you're fighting an Oliver, a 210 Robo won't do anything in speed fight kind of.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's hard.
But yeah, I mean, we can call it there. We've been going for a while. It's probably like, I don't know, it's the next day for Obabo at this point. But
Oh,
I mean, I'm gonna be awake for like 16 more hours in this, so
You're doing an all-nighter.
It's fun, yes.
For fun.
yeah,
Why?
I'm gonna
Why?
ruin Kumar all
For fun.
day.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
ruin
God.
Kumar.
But yeah.
Who has good kit?
Okay, enough with the coup.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're not hating on the kit.
Okay, listen.
Don't compare him to Carno for fuck's sake.
Buff Beastmasters to 103 base, and then you see me using
That
Kumar
would
every
change a lot.
You'll see me
That
use
would change
a
a
lot
lot
more
of things.
Shazam.
Do you think though Kumar's skill 1 should like instead of strip, it should like strip provoke or strip stun? Like
no, but the thing is, listen, Thompson, the
Okay,
S1,
Cassandra
the,
does.
the S1 strip silences on Kumar. It's really good. It has strip plus silence.
It
I thought
Yeah, it
does.
does. 75% chance to strip, 100% chance to silence. It's
Damn.
the most insane S1 in the game, pretty much.
No, Shazam has the best S1.
Yeah, I do like Shazams, but
Oh, it does silence. Holy!
It's really
Oh
good.
my
I didn't know that. Hey,
All right.
in my defense, I just
Wait.
pulled my first Kumar like 2 weeks ago, so
Listen,
Congrats.
if you guys,
Congrats.
after
Yeah,
watching
thanks.
this, After watching this
Thanks.
episode, if you guys see a rise of Kumar, you know where it started. All right, definitely
And,
not.
and
with
we're
Rune,
sorry.
and we're sorry. On top of that, we're sorry.
Good luck with your 96 base speed.
Well,
Does he at least awaken into something? Like
No,
accuracy
they
or something?
wicked to
One, I
S-
think.
They wicked to S1.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Well, that's awful.
Why do you think Shazam is so hard to use? It's the S1 Awakening.
That's
I should
bad.
bring back Shazam.
That's not why. That's not why.
Okay, don't say that. Look, I got GA1 with Shazam.
I think
Oh,
I think S1 Awakening on Shazam is the only thing that actually that unit has going for it, basically.
Oh no!
So I wouldn't.
I would say
wouldn't say that.
Ritesh and Kumar. Yeah, Ritesh, Kumar, and Chandra is probably better than both light and dark versions of the beast.
Dude, I want a Chandra, man.
Yeah.
I wish. It's so annoying. I'm
You
missing
never
3
fed it
units
like
and I want all
Black
3.
and
Why
all
do you want
water.
Chandra?
Fucking
Other than
Nora,
attack bar
Nora,
boosting?
Chandra, and Miles. It's all I'm missing, and I fucking
Oh, right,
want them.
right.
Chandra is good, but other than attack bar boosting, his kit really sucks because of Oliver.
Yeah, that's true, but he looks fun. I don't know. I mean, I don't have him. What do I know?
Let Zig experiment and displease himself. On his
I do think
I
Zig
gotta find it out the hard way.
Chandra because he has Wedjat.
Yeah, we don't talk about
What'd you say?
Wedjat.
Wedjat.
I said like he has Wedjat, so he doesn't need Chandra. It's already like
Yeah,
attack bar
that's
booster.
true.
Yeah, but I've
You
joined
need the miles.
I've joined you in the Wedjat is completely awful category. Like he is
Wait,
current.
who are you joining? There's no one here who hates
Thompsin.
Wedjat.
Thompson.
Wait,
Hates Wedjat.
Thompson, you don't like Wedjat?
I had to, the last time he was on podcast, I had to convince
Oh,
him
it's
that
midnight.
I liked
I'm
it.
off.
Yeah, good.
Dude, it's the lowest win rate unit in Summoner's War currently. Of all
doesn't matter.
units in the entire game.
Lower than slime. Lower than.
Well, they're not actually on the list, but if they were, they'd have a better win rate than Wedjat.
Probably.
Like
I love Wedjat.
Obabo doesn't know Wedjat's weaknesses, but Wedjat's weaknesses is very
It's
like,
himself.
Okay, what is the
really good.
weakness?
He
He
doesn't give
himself-
himself
I know
bar.
where Obabo. I know what's Obabo thinking. He's thinking like, I'm gonna bring Wedjat into like a lot of harmful effect teams. Am I right? Obabo.
I mean that would be. I mean, I wouldn't bring him into those, but I would.
You wouldn't.
That's like if I early pick him, he's okay into those. If they try to like turn to me with like Rika Cardinal stuff, then he gets some extra use there.
But he's not good into Rika Cardinal because he doesn't heal himself.
Like thing is, if I was using Wedjat, I wouldn't be that scared of Bruiser people. I would be more scared of the people who try to outspeed me if I were to use
Yeah.
Wedjat.
Yes, but it's his base speed is not aggressive enough to outspeed like a lot of the.
But I think against Bruisers, I would be fine with Wedjat.
Okay,
That's partly because I have Bella Han that I could just slam and just delete one of their like scary Bruisers.
Makes
So I could
sense.
also use I could also use like Shiho.
Daphnis,
and stuff.
I get it. Molong, yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
actual real issue with Wedjat is that what he looks like he does on paper, he doesn't actually do, which is keep the tempo up in the match. He doesn't actually do that because he doesn't give himself any bar. So you put your units to 100, right? And you probably overfill them by a bunch because you're boosting a shitload. You put them to 100, you put yourself to 0. They all move. They put themselves to 0. And then your tempo stops right there because everything on your team's at 0. Even if you did a bunch of shit to your opponent's team, it doesn't matter because Wedjat is still in front. So now all your units go up for their second turn, and now you get no bar again because
No,
everything's at
I wouldn't say
100 again. What do you mean?
that. Wedjat like puts everyone on his team to his speed, basically. That's what happens.
Right,
Like,
but but he doesn't
like, I wouldn't
keep
say
the
it's-
tempo up like a Verd does. Verd's tempo
No, he
never
doesn't.
stops because he gives himself 40 bar. So then he keeps the
Yeah, he
chain
does.
going. So he stays 40 bar ahead of every other unit because he gives it to himself. He puts them to 100, right? Then they go to 0.
If you-
He's at 40. He keeps the tempo going. Wedjat doesn't
let's
do
say-
that because he doesn't give himself the bar.
Let's say let's say you have a team of like 3 Bruisers plus Wedjat who are at like 165, 170, really efficient, and you're fighting an Oliver team full violent with like Praha and stuff. That makes it so you actually lap the enemy with your slower Bruisers, more efficient.
Yeah, but you're also
With
fighting. The issue though is in those games, his big weakness that shines through is that you're fighting 3 versus 4 because he doesn't have any skills, and you have a 2-turn buff but you immediately lose the first turn of that buff because you
But
give
that
your units a
means-
turn.
That means
And if they're on violent, then you might lose the buff altogether because it's only 2 turns.
yeah, but I would also say like that also means that you actually did nothing turn 1 while you outsped the enemy if you're stuck fighting 3 or 4, because that's a big part, like outspeeding the enemy, right? With Wedjat,
Okay.
like you have to get some value
Let
turn 1.
me say something. Obabo,
Yes.
name a unit. Don't talk about the passive, right? The passive, yes, you don't. We understand the flaws. How he doesn't boost himself, he doesn't heal himself. But name a unit with a worse skill 1 and a worse skill 2 than Wedjat.
Ezios.
Nope. That's not even true.
Distraction.
The
No,
funny
it is
the
true,
funny
it is
thing
true.
is the funny thing is they're garbage and it's not even true.
A lot of
God.
the big issue is like he's a stick because it's like his the 2 buffs he lands really sucks in this like artifact eccentric meta, and also like with a lot of the way people deals damage and a lot of the control teams, the buffs he put up, yeah, if he does like attack buff and like immunity, oh yeah, he's a good unit. But
Yeah, of
he does,
course.
like, 2
But-
weird buff, you know, like
The
what
problem,
actually,
and
that's-
those
that's
buffs
one
are
thing-
gone immediately anyway. It's 2 turn. If you fucking proc,
thing-
they're gone.
One thing I've said though for like Horses is that I think they should give like a 1 turn debuff on their S1s, because I think that's really good for Amduat as well,
Yeah,
and the other
absolutely.
units, and I think that would help Wedjat a lot in getting some more value if you had like even just a 1 turn slow or like
But
1 turn defense break does a lot on that
skill
one.
1 and skill 2 is better than Wedjat, because Amduat skill 1 stuns because on despair, and also strips now
Okay,
because of
listen.
the buff.
You can't tell me that Amduat skill 2 is better than Wedjat skill 2.
It strips.
It's
What?
way better.
Listen,
Well,
Wedjat
it's a
with
passive.
Wedjat with Amduat skill 2 would be the worst unit in the game. So
No. But
Well, yeah, because
no,
it wouldn't make any
damage
sense
itself-
anymore.
yeah, exactly.
But
So, like,
it's still a worse skill.
Yeah, okay, but the damage deal on speed is huge for Wedjat. I mean, Amduat. Wedjat, right? I'm getting confused. But
Amduat,
the
yeah,
damage deal is
Amduat.
huge, right?
But the issue with Wedjat is he's supposed to be the LD5 tempo unit that mirrors like something like a Vertihile. But it literally doesn't do it because he doesn't give himself bar. So immediately after the first turn, everything on your team is equal at 0. So you get no tempo out of him after the first turn. For the whole rest of the match, you get no tempo.
I do
It
know
makes no
what
sense.
like Obabo. I do know what Obabo's talking about. I feel you. But then like
okay, but I'll ask
because
then.
of the buffs, it's like it's hard to combo off him. Like it's hard to combo off him with a lot of meta units. Yeah, like him, and you could combo him off with Copper, but do you use Copper or Bulldozer? No, right?
No, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
actually almost running up a
I
Swift
tried, but it
Oh god,
yeah,
no.
Like-
it didn't work.
Bulldozer is probably better, right, than Copper.
Molly Nana crushed that dream way too quick when I tried to do that.
Yeah,
when
but
I pulled
listen,
Wedjat.
I'll ask then. Do you think Wedjat should boost his own bar?
Yes.
Do you think so, Thompson? I think it would be crazy, crazy
wait.
strong.
Okay, no, but then
Yeah.
his Two
You're
bullets.
you're
I just
you're,
fucking
you're
love
banned
it.
you're banned from WAP if you say
I think
crazy
it's
strong.
I think it's better to like buff his S1 with something or the like crit buff on S2
no,
because that's
like his skill 2 does no combo with any units in the game. Maybe for Varad.
Fengyan.
Fengyan, yeah. Okay, that's it. Like Varad and Fengyan, that's it. But you know, like I just want his skill 2 to be able to work with other units. You know, it's all I'm asking for, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because like which buff could they give him?
he needs to
like,
boost his
speed
own
buff-
bar. That's it. If
What?
Verd gives
mean-
himself 40, that's Wedjat should be able to give himself
Did you say speed
30.
buff? Wait, did you say he should?
Thing
do
is, I don't
speed buff
know.
for everybody?
You wouldn't even get
No, but
any
like, if
value
you-
out of that speed
If we were
buff.
to give, because thing is, I'm trying to think of a way to like boost people's damage without giving an attack buff, and like one turn speed buff would give you more additionals and stuff. But I don't know what they could give to like not completely break him, because him giving himself like ATB, that would be like Swift Verd except
Yo,
like
I
the most
agree.
insane thing you've ever seen.
I agree, but I just want to buff his two
Yeah.
buffs he gives other people. That will balance him out. Because like, yo, the 2 buffs does nothing, man. It's just food for Juno.
Yeah. But like I have faith that eventually someday there will be some good defense types. So like I don't fully want to lose that side of him. I just want him to do what Com to us thinks he does, but doesn't do
No.
because they can't do math.
No, they did. It's water Hollyberry cookie, and that's the best you're gonna get, man.
She defense buffs herself. It doesn't even matter.
No.
It's like you could use any bar booster with a water holly.
It's like because of how damage is dealt nowadays with like artifacts and everything, defense is like even as you're ruining up a unit, you're like, oh, I'd rather have HP than defense, or you're picking leader skills.
like,
HP is better.
I
Also, you
like
can
like
use
the Varad synergies and stuff, but like if you're not keeping up with the tempo, it doesn't matter. You should have just picked a speed lead that's better than him and a Verd, because he has the exact same passive, but he does it better. So there's better speed leads than Wedjat, and then there's Verd, who's just the better tempo unit. Yeah, I mean, there's Wool Young too, but
Zig, man. Like his friend over here got Tian Lang, Pater, and then he over here got Wedjat and Grogan.
He's free to play. I'm the one who buys the LD scrolls.
Oh, I know. That fucking sucks, man.
And he's muted. Look at this idiot.
Oops. Look, Patter is an old unit, all right? He's been sitting in my storage where he belongs for a long time until obviously he was buffed. Tian Lang is just an overdue from the amount of Amazon coins that went into my account and I got nothing out of it. That's all it is. Okay, I'm not that much of a luck sack.
Okay.
Now I'm free to play.
We didn't say you're a luck sack. I just say like it's just like wow. One account got Pater, came down. Another account got Wedjat, and Grogan.
And I'm happy with both of those. I just wish because like until the Josephine until the Josephine Wind Monkey patch, I was actually booming with Wedjat, but then those guys just ruined my Robo's lives, and that comp just felt it was just like crumbled. But like until then, I was okay with it. Now it's just it really shines that he just gives you no tempo. Like if you get them all to 0 bar, well, you're still at 0 bar because you didn't give yourself any bar, and now you just race to the next turn. Okay, you're faster. You boost. Okay, you didn't need the boost because you're faster, and it just makes no sense. He makes no sense as a unit.
You could need the boost second turn. Why not?
Why would you? If you were already faster than the person that you're fighting, and you're just trying to lap and out tempo them, then once all of your units are 0 and you bottom them out with Chung Pong and other combo units, you're just gonna get to 100 before they do again.
I mean that depends. Like sure that happens if you're Wedjat faster, but if your other units are slower than the enemy, you still go in front of them with Wedjat.
But
so you
I
still
mean, I get what you're saying in theory, but usually the teams that you are responding to those AoE tempo teams are not faster than you. Yeah, it's usually the Douglases and the Antars.
Because you're using Wedjat mainly with like ACC comp, right? As a Swiftword kind of.
But yeah, I don't have like Miles and stuff.
Because the thing is, Wedjat is strictly worse than Swiftword if you're running a CC comp like that into those like turn 2 units. So I see what you mean, but it's also like.
But like what you don't seem to see is what he is supposed to be is the better version of Verd. So for him to also just be strictly worse than Verd is really fucking dumb.
Worse than Verd.
He is strictly worse than Verd.
He's way better than Verd into a lot of comps because of his speed lead and base speed. So I don't see it.
The big part about
there's like 10 better speed leads than him.
A big part about why you're losing a lot of tempo using Wedjat, his passive is fine. Is like skill 1 and skill 2 does nothing, man.
Well, yeah, that also adds to the fact too. That they do.
So let me ask, like why? Okay, so Sig, why were you asking to like get a Chandra if you don't like Wedjat?
Because it would be fun to use.
Yeah, exactly. So why is I don't know, man.
I mean, Chandra's terrible. I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't think Chandra's a good unit. I just want him. I'm missing 3 units. I want the ones I'm missing. But I mean, no. I mean, it's okay. Like I get that you don't understand the types of comps that you run into when you start to push the aggression like that, but what you really need versus those comps that you're fighting is to heavily outbar them, because that's just, if your skill on Wedjats don't do anything, you need to be providing something to your team. And hopefully that's bar, but it's not, because
Yo, no one has a worse skill 1 than Wedjat.
well, yeah, it's terrible. It's not even 100% activation rate.
Valkyries.
For an LD5,
Valkyries have worse as well.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, Valkyrie does. Okay, all right.
Valkyrie's close, yeah. But
yeah, it's all those old units. But no.
I think also
because Valkyrie has better damage.
Bouncing.
it hits way harder
the
too.
bouncing, but I think most units that have like ignored damage effects are worse than like having pushback. Like the Ezio skill 1, I like less than having pushback on my S1.
Wedjat skill 1 is worse than Ezio skill 1. Stop trolling me.
I don't think so.
Well, Obabo's removing the context of the units, right? Because like obviously when you view the units in their proper context, the Ezios are damage dealers, and ignoring damage reduction effects is beneficial to them. Whereas if you were to give Wedjat that skill, obviously that's completely pointless, right? He does no damage. You're ignoring damage reduction doesn't do anything. Whereas like, so I get it in that context, but I mean, in the context of their own skills, I would rather the damage dealer have ignored
I also think
damage reduction.
I also think that damage dealers who have like S1 ignore damage reduction effects, that does nothing, because damage dealers have to have like impactful S2s, S3s to even have a place. Meanwhile, let's say your Daphnis has to use like S1 turn 1. It's a useless pick, because you're never really using S1 on those picks. Either you win the game before you get to use S1, or it's just like fluff damage, killing a Molly after you already won, basically. So I feel like having something that could impact or put a debuff, even for a unit like Ezio, would be better than the S1 it has. So let's say like Water Ezio, instead of having the ignore damage reduction thing, you have like a slow on it with AoE strip with S2. It's a lot better than like ignoring damage reduction effects.
Yeah, but I still think within the context of the units, like when Wedjat's only skill is that pushback thing, basically, I mean, he has the buffs, but that's when it becomes awful.
Skill 1 is pretty bad, man. I tried the water
it's not
one.
great. I mean, it's like a weird like siege. They're like don't they have guild leads? I don't even know, but
it's up there. It's up there for like who has the worst skill 1. You know, Wedjat, Ezio, a lot of these monsters.
Yes,
you know,
I mean it's the same. It's the sniper skill 1 or what. It's like it's a siege thing, really. It's when you're fighting like windies and bullshit like that. Like it's supposed to just like you can put it on defense and it'll bust through shields on a windy and crap like that. But
I would say though that Wedjat is probably not the worst speed lead. There's a lot worse ones.
Well, yeah, you got like Shimate and shit like that. But
I always want to play with one unit, the Wind one, the Wind 24 lead. What is it? It's a Nat 4. I think it does AoE stun, absorb, and then the second skill does like AoE glance. Yeah, it's a Nat 4. Is it? Yeah.
I'm sure you're thinking of Shimate, dude. You're describing Shimate, but not really Shimate.
There's a few good.
Are you saying light?
Eratus? Light,
is it?
Not wind. It's the same.
Yeah, but he doesn't have an arena lead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
People just use it for some sort of cleave.
He has a dungeon speed lead.
The water succubus is really underrated, man.
I'd rather have her S1 than Wedjat's. That's for damn sure.
Oh, that's the best one in the game, man.
Yeah, that's a good ass S1. But
yeah, the succubus probably has the best S1 in the game right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I guess I don't know what else is better. I mean, like a Dark Bison specifically is a really good one, but he's only. It's because he's got the passive like affecting it, but
whoever says that Dark Bison is still usable.
I love fighting that unit now. It's so funny.
Go home. He's not usable. That unit's gone.
Okay, but better or worse than Wedjat?
Worse, for sure. 100% worse than Wedjat.
I just wanted to hear Obabo's copium. That's all.
That's not copium though. Like that's if copium. You say that's copium.
I mean,
Yeah,
their
it's
win
not
rates
nice.
aren't even close. That's for
I
damn
mean,
sure.
Thompsin
One of them
has
is
both,
drastically
and Thompsin
higher.
would much rather use Wedjat than Gurkha. I'm 100% certain.
I mean, if you're making the fun argument, sure. But
No, I'm not even making the fun argument.
Oh damn.
I mean, I guess,
No,
man.
you know, I hate to admit this, but Obabo's right. Like if I'm fighting for if I'm like G3 right now and I'm competing and trying to rank up really high, the win rate of Dark Bison would be like 1%. Like every 10 battles I bring him out, I'll win 1 game. And then for Wedjat, it'll be more than 1%.
But I mean, I guess, but that's also just inaccurate because Wedjats is literally the lowest in the game. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Everyone seems to care about win rates until it's a unit's got like 40%. And it's like, nah, dude, that's fake. It's only like 10,000
I think
games
people
with
actually care
40%
about
win
win
rate.
rates too much.
I do too, until there's like anomalies. Like I think when you're like splitting hairs between like the middle of the pack, like sometimes we've had guests on too where it's like this unit's 49 and this unit's 50. The 50 unit is better because it's one higher. It's like, okay, that's splitting hairs. But like when you get to like when Oliver's in like 53 range, it's like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Like he's skyrocketing past the pack. And then when you have a unit like Wedjat, who's 10% lower than the pack, it's like the anomalies are what actually like show you something.
I want to admit something that I'm very disappointed in myself about. I've been trying to play on another account, and I've been trying to climb on that account. And there's no way to climb unless I use like water Hollyberry, cookie. All of you guys always say like, hey, how do you play a game using all those units? Because it's the only way to climb with that. It's the only way to gain points, man.
Yeah.
I do respect
I'd rather
those
just
people,
not play if that was my only way.
30 minutes a wing, because that's the only way to get up there, man.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have time for that shit.
No, but like, still, like for like if you
Just auto. Like
yeah. What's up?
I mean, Sig could play that in just auto.
I guess so.
No, man.
That would be my only option because I get like
you gotta like armor break the right unit.
Yeah, I know. Like,
yeah.
turn two like gets to make a lot of decisions as well. Like that's something people overlook because turn 2 games are longer, so you get to make way more decisions, and that's like important to note as well. Meanwhile, like turn 1 games are often just decided like the second you go into the match. After draft, or like
I'm just glad that this is happening an hour and 45 minutes in, and no one's actually going to hear it.
If you guys ever go on
What do you mean no one's gonna hear?
No. If you guys ever go on WOD again and go, oh, who the heck has all that time to run a second turn team? This guy right here.
Oh no! I mean, I know people have the time, but I it's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna have my 5-year-old just like poking me in the eye, like while I'm trying to fuck.
That's what Thompson was missing as a kid.
But here's the toxicity. Like my turn 2 comp that I run on the alt account makes the turn 1 comp play another 30 minutes with me.
I know.
Yeah, so
I
like
know.
you turn 1 comp, you have no choice but to take that long with the wing, even if you're trying to cleave.
Yeah, you can't just follow through with your comp because then you're just gonna fucking lose. So you have to slow it down, pick a bruiser and a support last, pick some sustain. It's like fuck, man, you're forcing this out of me.
Talk about this, all right? I have to talk about this because we have to talk about this. This is like urgent. We have to talk about this before like the podcast is over. Yo, Dark Onimusha, holy shit, that thing is so strong.
Okay, dude, get that thing out of here too.
The problem is like he's good, but he could like when they draft him, I don't know like whether I should outspeed him or not outspeed him.
I know.
Like, don't outspeed him, I lose. If I outspeed him, I don't really know. Like I guess
there's still so many ways to lose, even if you outspeed. Yeah,
I'm gonna make you guys even more mad now. Like I don't think Onyuki's
I think Onyuki's bad. I think Wedjat's better than Onyuki.
I don't think Onyuki's in like conversation for the best LD right now.
Oh, which one do you think is the best LD then?
Veronica.
I think like Tian Lang,
probably,
Ragdoll,
right?
and then the like LD AoEs. Like some of those are probably close there.
I think
Neftis is also like usually I don't rate Neftis too highly, but I think she's better than Onyuki as well right now.
I think Tian Lang is better. I think Ragdoll is better than Tian Lang. Is what I'm trying to say. Like Tian Lang
I
is
think
here. I
both of
feel
those
like
are similar.
Ragdoll's here.
I think both of those
Tian
are
Lang's higher than
similar.
Ragdoll.
Huh?
I think Tian Lang's higher than Ragdoll. But,
You like
but
Tian?
like
Wow.
that's my personal because I
Okay.
never struggled with Ragdoll.
I respect that.
It's a sack.
It does
But-
help that Tian Lang counters Ragdoll, right? So
Yeah,
like
I
that
never
is
needed
that is a nod in his favor.
Yeah, it's a small nod in my favor. I'm not giving it that much.
As like a Wind Robo user or a Bella user, what are you scared of more? Ragdoll or Tian Lang?
Oh, as a Win
Tian
Robo
Lang.
user, Ragdoll,
Oh, as a
100%,
Wind Robo user, it'd be Ragdoll. I don't use Robo.
10,000%, yeah.
That's probably why.
Well,
I
I
stopped
think,
using more. I don't use more anymore.
Like
So.
with like if you have a water Ryu comp, like if you see a Ragdoll, it's just like whoa. Like
You have to ban it. You're never gonna push back more than he gains. Even I don't care if you have 15 crit rate. I don't care if they're all fucking wind. You're still gonna crit 2 things and give them more bar than you suck.
I mean, that's like the issue with like everything being like balanced around multi hits and additional damage right now. Like
Yep.
single hit strippers wouldn't care about drag as much
Yeah.
at all. Like if it was the same skill.
But it's too punishing.
Right. Or
Units are
Tian
too. Units punish you too hard if you miss on them. That's why it's like you have to kind of default to the multi hits where you have multiple chances. Because it's like you pick Chiwu, it's the 15 on 2 of the units, and it's like fuck me. Like they're just too strong to miss. You can't afford to miss units. So you need multi hits that are super consistent, like the Robos. I
Like
feel
Dark
at
Guy-
least every time I try
the
to use
Dark Guy
Chiwu,
is
I get
not that
punished.
strong. The Dark Guy is not that strong, but counters a lot of like the Ragdolls too and stuff like that. It might not be
Who?
the best unit, but it's really freaking good. Even on
I think
in,
it's
like,
a.
armor break,
Are you
like,
talking
the whole
on
team-
Yuki? I think it's the best LD.
I think Oyuki's on like Han level, like top 5 territory basically.
I prefer the versatility of on Yuki though, where it's like Thompson said, like if they're being aggressive versus you with on Yuki, they can also just like if Thompson's like, okay, I'll go for the outspeed. Then like you're being aggressive, you also pick Nephthys, whatever. You're being aggressive, I'll go for the outspeed. They can so effortlessly pivot, and on Yuki still fits perfectly in, and just can still be their win condition. It can be their win condition outspeeding you. It can be their win condition underspeeding you. Whereas like Han, if you get outsped, there's a good chance he just gets locked down or killed or whatever. Like he can't really go both modes. Where it's like on Yuki is the win condition in both modes, which is crazy. It's like it's similar to Oliver, where they can pick it early. They can pick it early, and it can be their win condition going
It's
second.
also-
It can be
it's
their win
also
condition
really
going first.
good with like it's really good with Tian Lang. It's really good with Nephthys.
Oh yeah,
It's really
it's
good.
enhanced by other LDs big time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ongyuki is pretty strong as like a cleavage unit turn 1. I think his turn 2 capabilities are okay. But it's hard to say because like I would say water Ryu is in that case is like more fit for both. Because I feel like Ongyuki, like as soon as you like put an attack rate, as soon as you put a dot, it just dies.
Yeah.
It's hard to like have I would say usually if you die to Ongyuki's turn 2, it's just that he's kind of versatile, so you can pick him early, pivot into turn 2, and then you lose to the other turn 2 units in combination with Ongyuki.
Yeah, well that's the
More so than
that's
like,
the thing.
Ongyuki being the Ragdoll himself, like actually giving they to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he
So I think
gives
he's-
you the versatility of doing both of those things though, because like even like with like the landing the attack break, landing the dots, things like that. Those are things that are inherently weak to the Junos and the whatevers that could be picked within their pivot comp. That it's like, okay, you pick these tools to counter him, but he's not going to be a detriment to a turn 2 team if they hard pivot into the counters. Whereas like Han could potentially be a detriment to a turn 2 team because he could just get clapped up and killed before he ever gets a chance, you know?
Is that-
the best like turn 2 units there is though.
Who?
Damage dealing wise, damage output wise.
Han is pretty good turn 2, yeah.
Well, I'm
Because
saying
he's like
I'm saying pivoting off of turn 1 versus someone who's going for the hard outspeed.
Yeah.
Like Han is gonna get locked down and it's gonna stick, and he's probably gonna get reset too. Whereas like on Yuki, you can't really lock him down. You could reset him, and that could be valuable, but you can't really lock him down. And one proc, a 40k
No,
HP
okay,
unit
but-
dies.
Okay, wait. One thing though, like
Yeah.
if you think Ongyuki is really good, isn't like light Eivor like super insane then? Like compare
Probably.
Ongyuki to light Eivor right now.
She's
Well,
I
way.
would say Light Ivor is really good.
She would be.
I think light Eivor is probably
One of
No, well, she would
Onmyoki's,
be
like,
built inherently way squishier than an Ongyuki because she needs crit rate, crit damage to output damage, whereas he is just like, I just got a gazillion of every stat and I deal 30% bonus damage and I don't need to crit.
Well, I feel like one of the Onmyoki's strength is that with attack buff, it nearly kills your whole team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So like,
I mean, one
a
proc
lot
will
of
take
players-
down a 50k HP unit. It's insane.
So a lot of players in G3, they make you pick between like a Nikki or an Onmyoji, and it's like, whoa, like what am I gonna do here? You know?
Yeah.
okay. But the thing is, I think like let's say you have an average account with like all the elementals.
Mhm.
Would you rather give it like Ragdoll, Tian Lang, Veronica, one of
Ragdoll.
those, or Ongyuki?
Ragdoll. If
I
you
don't
could,
think-
if you could only
I don't
have
think no
one
one
LD,
picks
I
Ongyuki,
think you'd
right?
take Ragdoll.
Don't fall for that question. Don't fall for that question. Because it's based on what kind of runes you get.
Yes,
Like, if
that's how
if like you get like slow violent runes, oh yeah, Ragdoll. If you get like fast runes, oh fast and spare runes or something, yeah, you know.
Nephthys.
It just depends on
Yeah.
but yeah,
I think-
don't fall for that question, you know.
'Cause no, but I feel like if you have like when would you ever pick Ongyuki then compared to those units?
If you have like good like speed attack runes with great HP substats, great accuracy, kind of like the Dominic set I have. Oh my god, the Onmyoki will be crazy good,
Well, yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Obabo's just
That's
making
like
the in a
that.
vacuum argument, right? Like in a vacuum, is Ongyuki better
No,
than?
no, I mean, I'm talking. No, I'm not talking about in a vacuum. I'm talking about like which is the best LD right now.
Oh, okay.
But you're
Like my
making.
top five,
I know, but
actually.
you're saying in a vacuum you can only have one. Which one would you pick? And I wouldn't pick Ongyuki either. I agree with you on that. But that's not how these accounts play out.
Runes, you're just gonna pick Veronica.
Okay, so
I would take Veronica.
So
yeah.
okay, so
Yeah, I know. With your
so do you
runes,
think-
yeah.
so do you think Ongyuki is like the best LDs if you have all the LDs in that case?
If you have,
Yeah.
you don't need all of them. You definitely don't need all of them. But yeah, if you've got a nice combination of like
Well,
the
like
Nickies,
earlier, I
the
would say,
Nickies and the Nephthyses and the Tian Langs to pair with them, yeah, he's probably the best.
but
I would say
earlier
it's
you
more
saying-
so like the Tian Lang and Ragdolls who are carrying the Ongyuki in that case. I mean, sure, it fits really well, but I feel
Yeah,
like
no.
those units are more game altering.
I'm just trying to respond to Obabo's last question, where you say, "Would you rather have the light Eivor?" And I'm saying like light Eivor and Nikki is a great combo, but not as good as Nikki and the Onmyoji. Just kills your
Yeah.
whole team, you
Yeah,
know.
Sure.
Yeah.
The combo.
I mean,
It doesn't even restrict
I
you.
think it's really good. It's just like I don't see him as game altering as like other like gated LDs.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. When you have like, I'm not saying like that combo is OP. Yeah, there's way around it. But with like the meta units, people are picking like Ryu, Oliver, and stuff like that. When you have like Nikki that could violent proc, and then Dark Onmyoji that can't be stunned, it's like whoa, like. And they don't even need to strip you.
There's so
It's
much
just,
that
like,
can
great
go
weapons,
wrong. Yeah, there's
you know?
he just punishes when things go wrong. He punishes you instantaneously, and it's super game swinging. It's like Shizuka, It's like as soon as something goes wrong versus a Shizuka, she just swings the momentum of the game so fast and
fine.
so hard.
I'll admit it. I played against Duchan a few times, and oh my god, Duchan's dude, his Dark Onmyoji proc like
Yeah.
crazy on me. I have PTSD, man.
Yeah,
I'll admit it.
when he gets going, units just start dropping. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have like Nana. You're like, oh, okay, like Nana attack break revives. Everything Nana does should counter the dark one. No, man.
yeah,
Dude,
until you accidentally stun it when you click S2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't care about your revive, man.
Yeah. No, he's insane. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to evaluate who the best is because I would always take Veronica over anything. So it's just tough. I don't know, but
It depends on what type of runes you
I don't
have.
know. Okay, maybe I should ask like should Dark Ongyuki get nerfed? Because I don't think so.
I would nerf his damage output. I think it's way
What?
too high.
Dark who?
Take-
Wait.
I heard you say Dark Ryu.
Oh yeah, I said Ongyuki.
Okay.
Ongyuki. Should I nerf Ongyuki or not?
Yeah, I would
Well, does
tweak, but I would nerf a lot of those units. Like I don't think a unit needs to be like. The problem is Comstos doesn't do that. They don't do mini nerfs, or like they will only address a unit when it's fucking dominating the entire game. So it's like If I were them,
Well-
I would do a bunch of mini nerfs, and he would definitely be on there for sure.
But
Oh
then they
man,
have like 30% bonus damage just right out the gate, right? Nothing has happened on the field,
Yep.
but his passive says 30% bonus damage. That doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know, or at least like tone it down. Like
15.
30 doesn't-
Just try something. Yeah.
And do micro nerfs, like there's nothing wrong with a micro. Like what we always love to say is they shouldn't have done. It doesn't need the Gurkha
Yeah.
nerf.
Like I
to
wouldn't
show something.
fundamentally change him like they did. Like they fundamentally changed Gurkha to where he is so much less reliable as like a soloer because he just doesn't heal himself anymore. Like that's a fundamental part of his kit that they removed. I wouldn't do that to Ongyuki. I would just
No.
tone down the
I would-
damage.
I would
I
respond
mean,
to Obabo
Ongyuki
like this.
is only damage, I think.
Yeah.
I would respond
That's
to
his
Obabo
only
like
role.
this.
There's a lot of units that are only damaged and they don't do anywhere near what he does.
I would respond to Obabo like this. I think like the Dark Onmyoji should get a nerf only because like
On
okay,
Yuji
hear me
or
out.
Ongyuki?
Oh shoot, the Onyoki.
Oh.
Ongyuki. Yeah,
Yoki.
I
sure.
feel like Dark Onyoki should get a nerf only because like let's just say like all right, I have a Dark Onyoki and Obabo scream me. Then pretty much like the teams Obabo bring into me, knowing that I have Dark Onyoki, saying that we don't pre-ban, we just meet each other in the draft, would be very similar all the time because there's a few units that could counter the Onyoki, you know, a few one-shot units, a few like, you know, from Daphnis, Narsha, whatever, like stuff like that. And it'll be really boring screaming against someone that has Onyoki. It'll look really stale, you know? And I feel like that's not healthy for the game.
Yeah, and that's why I say like that's why I think Tian Lang, Ragdoll, and even like Seime and stuff recently, like those are very like game altering. Like those I would think way more in the draft of than like Ongyuki.
I actually
Okay.
feel like Tian Lang's I think Tian Lang's at a pretty nice spot because the skill 2 is not that consistent. But
Yeah,
then
it's not.
like
Pretty garbage.
yeah. Like
But the thing is, like,
if I'm using Wind Robo, I'm not scared going into Tian Lang, you know.
Because thing is like I would value like Seime, Tian Lang, Ragdoll a lot for like tournament play.
Yeah.
And they're like and like those are units that can save you from a bad draft in ladder as well. Meanwhile, let's say like Ongyuki, if you spam on Ongyuki on ladder, you can get like really good success with it as well.
I thought the
But like
unit,
in a draft setting, I think the others can actually have like higher value.
I thought the unit that's probably the funnest unit to ever meet this Summoner's War game. I have
Wedjat.
Dark
No.
Oh, imagine. I have Dark Hollyberry Cookie. And when they pick Seime, holy shit, I'm trembling. I'm shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
Dude, Dark Hollyberry
Seime
is
is.
so sick.
Yeah, he's good. And it's really fun. Like, she's really fun to use. She has a lot of counters. You know, Miles counter her.
Mhm.
Bulber counters her. Seime counters her, but she's really fun to use.
Oracles.
Yeah. Not so much. No.
No, you don't think so? Or at least it gives you, because who else
I mean,
are
like-
you gonna take with a 3-turn AoE strip?
If you build your Dark Hollyberry right, she kind of counters the Oracle. Because, like, she does AoE armor break. You can't forget about
they
that.
die they're squishy. They're much more likely
mean,
that you're just gonna body them, but
Yeah, because like I was thinking now, like Ongyuki, if I were to change him,
Mhm.
I would probably do like a buff nerf for him, like nerf buff. Like I would nerf his like damage straight off to like 20%,
give him like
and then give him back like
a pushback or
70%.
something on the S2 or something.
No, like 70% damage when you get stunned. So you do even more
Oh.
damage than now when you're stunned,
Oh
but
god.
you
That
do
would
less
be a buff.
damage like straight up.
That would be a buff.
I would give some.
No, I
I
mean-
would give some utility to the S2 because fucking Suki needs it.
Oh, well,
That's what I would do.
give it through his passive. We don't have
Because
to-
thing is, I feel like
Dude, he's at 30 right now. You're going to put him to 20. When he's done, he does 50. You're going to put it to 70?
wasn't that what it was before, or didn't they change that?
Well, right
Or-
now it's 80,
I'm pretty sure
right?
They did something. No, it's 50.
It's 50
When
right
you-
now.
But
when
he
get
always
stunned.
but he always has the 30 though, right?
Yeah.
So then you
Oh,
just
do they? Oh yeah, they do put it.
yeah, you just get
additionally.
50 more. So right now on a stun he has technically 80 bonus damage, which is fucking nuts. His stats are so crazy. But
Because I think that's when he's supposed to be strong. Maybe they could like tune him down without the stun, make him like stronger a little bit as a counter pick in return. Because like right now you don't care too much about like this. I mean, stun damage is nice, of course, and that you go out of the stun.
Don't
Yeah.
forget
Like,
his
you don't-
S1 is really good as well. Like his S1 into S2 is just devastating.
I mean, it's an
Obabo
automatic kill. Like,
Oh,
stun or no
Obabo
stun,
taught
it's a
me how to-
kill.
Obabo knows because Obabo taught me how to rune a kinky.
Kinky.
Is it the same thing?
Dude, imagine if Kinky
And
had that
yeah.
S2.
No.
Holy.
Can I have a kinky in the first place?
Dude, Thompson, have you run any of the Ken Baller comp with the what the hell's her name? Giselle and Kraka? Dude, that comp is so toxic, man.
No,
That
you
The Giselle
Kraka
Kraka
is
Shizuka, man, is like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Kraka is kind of finally at a nice spot.
She's
I
so
really
good,
like
man.
her right now. She's good into turn 2, but not so good into like most of the meta stuff
Yeah.
going on.
I've pulled Ken like 4 or 5 times in a row the other day, and I was like, how do I kill anything? Like he was like Nana, Kraka, Giselle, Shizuka, and I'm like, I gotta kill these things 600 times. And like, what do I do?
No, I never seen that team. I never queued in against him.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Kraka's sick. I was just because I know you have the same LD, so I was wondering if you had tried it. But oh my god, it is, you just can't kill anything. Nothing dies ever.
I'm trying to think of something, but nothing.
Yo, so we still don't have a way to
Robot.
nerf the
Bro.
Onyoki. The Dark Onyoki, we still have no answers for it, right?
No,
I would tune his
the
damage
initial
down, I
move,
mean.
I don't exist, period. But I'd say tone it down at first, and and see from there. Like if my whole team with a 44 lead gets wiped out by a single Ongyuki, and my entire team is after lead towers and blah blah blah, I'm all over 50k, and I get wiped out. That's kind of ridiculous, and I even stun the guy yet.
Well,
Like he just gets
yeah.
attack buff.
But the thing is, it's obvious the issue with them is the bonus damage, because Suki has the literal exact same S1 into S2, and a Suki proc doesn't just decimate your team. The only difference between the two is the 30% bonus damage,
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
all of
saying.
a sudden
I
he
guess-
decimates the team. It's like,
I mean, Suiki isn't built the same way either, though, I would say. Because Suiki, you always
Well,
build
yeah,
tank
you
right
can't.
to take
You-
advantage of the passive.
yeah, you have. Well, that's the thing. You have to with Suki, because like, so I had ACOG build a Suki instead of an Ongyuki to try with like a Lucifer
Yeah.
cleave, and just the damage difference is just so astronomical. But like in theory, their attack is the same, because if Suki moves last and you have 3 units go and you get the Lucifer passive bonus, the Suki has the same like raw damage as Ongyuki, but that 30%, like 30% of like a 50k hit is a massive amount of damage. So it's like, it's just so enormous how much more damage Ongyuki does just because of that flat 30% more damage.
Yeah, but I mean, Suiki full stacked on the same build as Ongyuki would deal more damage.
No, he does less. No, he does less because
I mean,
of the
he
30.
does-
We tested it.
Wait, but how does that work then? Because 250 would be like 2.4k attack on Ongyuki, and how much, or on Suiki, I mean, and how much do you have on Ongyuki? You have like, let's say probably 1700 is like the usual attack for an Ongyuki, I think.
I mean, it's got
And you
to.
get
I don't know.
2.4K.
I don't know why it is. It's just got to. It's got to just be the scaling of like dealing a 30% flat buff of because their attack ends up around the same. Like, well, I guess fully stacked Suki maybe has like a little bit more attack, but the flat 30% damage increase by that point in the game is just such an astronomical amount of damage. He
The
just
thing is,
hits harder.
yeah, because Onimushas, they have like their scaling is very linear, right? Because there's no crit rate, crit
Yep.
damage in the equation. So like 2.5k attack on this week is, I guess that's almost double the. But thing is, I'm not sure how that works with like attack damage scaling in RTA. It could be that Ongyuki still does more damage because of the like timer.
Hmm,
If the Suiki passive doesn't get affected by the timer, I'm not sure if that's a thing or not.
yeah.
Because otherwise, full stack Suiki should be like crazy on that same set. But then, of course, you don't have the like proc out of stun and everything, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
still different, of course.
if they nerf Dominic like that, they definitely should do something about that.
That's true too. Dominic does it in a single target, and they're like, "No, we can't
I'm
have this."
so happy to have pre-nerf Dominic against like some of the Molly.
Yeah, I know.
water Hollyberry cookie.
Whenever
you know?
you're workshopping how to beat those teams, it's like, man, I really wish I had the old Dominic back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird how that works.
It's crazy because I wasn't even using him before the
Now
the
you
patch. Now I need him because of the things that got buffed in the patch, but in that same patch they killed him. So it's like, fuck.
Well, if Come to Us doesn't want a
understand
unit to deal that much consistent damage, I mean, like the Dark Omyoji is like, you know,
He does
Dominic, but
even
it does
more.
armor break.
Yeah, he does
Because
more
It
too.
armor breaks.
He's harder to
I
kill,
think-
he heals
I
more,
think,
and he does more damage.
I think the iteration of Dominic when he had like the attack when his HP got lower, I think that was easier to use than on Yuki. Like more applicable, that version of Dominic. Because like you can say that Ongyuki is similar to Dominic, but I think what made Dominic so strong before is that like Dominic doesn't require any setup at all. Like he was ignoring defense. If Ongyuki is going into a willed up team.
Yes, very true. Yeah, right.
I think I never really got to play with old Dominic, but I think he was like really scary.
He is really good.
Oh yeah, he was great. But
How
we need
do
him.
you typically deal with Ongyuki yourself, Bobo? What's your comp against?
I can check if I go very different comps like every time. Sometimes I turn 2 him, sometimes I turn 1 him. I'll see if I have any Ongyukis in my replays.
I mean, yeah. Han definitely helps.
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Han with strips in front of him just
Like, I mean,
decimates
that's
him.
the exact
I
reason.
often kill him with like Ethna and stuff as well, because you just S1 dot him and he just dies.
I can see that working out too. It's just I think the comps that I would fight him in, he just ends up getting off his S2 before I could properly remove it off the field.
But see, that's not where he's scary yet. It's like a lot of the Onyoki people has Ragdoll, so like it makes your Ethna pretty useless, you know.
Yeah.
And it has the Annabelles and the Tian Lang, so it's like
Yeah, I guess, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, is it the Ongyuki that I'm afraid of then, or the Ragdoll mainly?
Well, but the Onyoki
Like, they're
It's
very
a
good in
combination.
combination.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what
they're
you're
very
saying. But yeah, no, it really amplifies like
But
the other unit. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
of course. Yeah, I do think like Ongyuki is
Well, it's
top
like-
5. I just don't think he is the one that alters the draft in that way.
Well, it's like Ragdoll gets you in check, but then you add on Yuki and now you're in checkmate. And it's like, it's kind of...
If they just
I
go,
mean,
like,
sure,
right
yeah, but I
now-
would say that Ragdoll is the checkmate unit then, like
Oh,
the mate
absolutely,
unit.
yeah.
But
But like,
that's...
if they go like Riley, if they go Riley, Ragdoll on Yoki, is like, whoa, like, do I let the Riley through? I don't have a bulwark, or do I let the bulwark through and let him go first? You know, it's like, what do I do? You know, you can't give Omyoki attack buff. You know.
Yeah, okay. Oh wait, I mean that was actually a good thing that Sig said. I would say that okay, so checkmate with Ongyuki and Rag. I would say that Rag checkmates a lot of other combinations as well, more so than like Ongyuki checkmates with other pairings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And same with like Tian Lang,
Tian Lang's so good.
basically.
I'm not understanding the Tian Lang thing all that much. And maybe it's just because I use it differently. But what is it about Tian Lang that's messing up everyone? Because I don't use Verd, so that's out of my. Maybe is that like one of the things? Is that
I mean, Tian Lang
Verd?
is just like one of those, like
Or is
it's one of those units that basically can shut down whole teams, like pretty much like Ragdoll, like entire drafts as a
I'm just not fighting these
later
teams.
pick.
Why would
But
you
the
be? You
difference
pick
I
Tian
like-
Lang every game.
I always say I like Ragdoll more because I could bring Ragdoll early in the draft, and Tian Lang is meant later in the draft. I don't care. Like maybe you could pick Tian Lang first. I'm not a big believer of that, but then like Ragdoll I could draft early, but Tian Lang I have
Thing
to
is,
draft.
I don't think. Like I think Ragdoll is pretty similar when you should pick him to Tian Lang. I don't think early Ragdoll is that.
No,
Crazy.
I mean like. Well, because like the meta right now, people just slam like water Ryu. Then I just instantly pick like Ragdoll.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, sure. I mean, but the thing is, if you're picking Ragdoll into Wateryu, then it would still almost be classified as like a later pick, because like Wateryu kind of like Wateryu already like solves the draft a bit because they're like locked into a.
straight into like water Ryu though.
Yeah, he's a pretty high first pick rate right now.
Yeah, it is. But I would still say that like even though you're first picking Rag into Wateryu, it's still like a counter pick, right? Because they've already like showed their hand basically.
Let's be honest, the best strippers in the game are like oracles.
You just said it's not good against like your Giselle and shit, and all of a sudden it's the best strippers.
Well, Giselle just kills them though.
No, I'm talking about Ragdoll. I'm talking about Ragdoll.
Okay, which Oracle? Are you talking about Lima Gianna? Sure. We can get those guys
I'm
up.
talking about like Praha, Juno, all the other. I'm saying they're not that great into Dark Hollyberry because you don't have to skill 2 into skill 3. You could just skill 3 first, and then later on wait and skill 2.
Yeah, this is true. I can definitely see that.
And then like the Praha has armor break on her, or the Juno has armor break on her. You could bring up some follow up damage or attack or pushback. Because we all know Oliver pushes back Juno.
Yes, natural all the time.
Yeah. No, I mean it's decent, but it's not great. Is what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some other units are scarier when you're playing against like Dark Hollyberry Cookie, like Seimei, you know.
Yeah.
Or Bulwark. Yeah.
I would just like
really good.
Comptos, if you want to give me some of these LD5 so I can try them out, give more accurate opinion, that'd be great.
Early.
They're all just they're all a pain in the ass to deal with. I don't know.
Personally, I don't see the high value of Tian Lang if outside of like fighting Ragdoll. For me, not so much, but just Bird was like the biggest thing for me to own a Tian Lang. I'm not even joking. Like when I fought Tian Lang, it never bothered me. I don't think I ever banned Tian Lang ever because I never had to. Like I can't even think because I had no reason to ban it in my comps at least. But I'm trying to understand why everyone hates on Tian Lang so much. When he's
Tian Lang with,
you want to try my Wedjat comp for a little bit?
What am I missing?
See how you feel about him. Well, I mean that's why some people hate him. Some of us only have one okay-ish LD5, and yours is a force ban, no matter what.
Here's Tian Lang with additional damage, artifacts, which you have a lot. I've seen your artifacts, and armor break on skill 1, and gain bar from passive is a really good unit.
It is, but like the passive alone, how much does it really affect you if you're not a Ragdoll or Verdraft?
In this meta, a lot. Because Gyu and shit like that are wicked popular.
It does help
and Junos and
I think Tian Lang helps a lot against the Rag, right? And that's a very big thing.
He even works versus like the water reuse and even if like Robos still do okay against him, you still see a payoff in his passive over the course of the game.
More than okay against the Robos. I don't even think.
I will say though, that like water reuse matchup against Tian Lang is not that bad. Like it's pretty. I would say it's even water reuse favored usually.
But I would first pick water reuse.
But it's the same thing as like Valantis. Like Valantis is super obnoxious, but he actually has a bad matchup into water reuse, especially after his last nerf.
Yeah. I don't know about that only because Tian Lang does multiple hits. So it pops, it pops the passive for Ryu. It's a big deal.
Well, I'm just saying over the course of a match, as Ryu's passive is being procced, I'm not just saying like in the turn 1 interaction. I'm just saying like over the course of the match, as Ryu is getting passive procs and he's just gaining half bar the entire time and giving Tian Lang bar in return. Like it's tough for Water Ryu to keep his chain going of just being super obnoxious and spamming S2s when he's only going to half bar instead of full.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking like more in the turn 1 context.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Because I was gonna assume like if Watery gets all the strips, the Tian Lang player loses if he doesn't stun everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That happens more often for the Water Ryu.
In the
same thing for
the Tian Lang might not even cut either, because if the Tian Lang's the one who gets pushed back and you don't like spam push back the rest, then Tian Lang doesn't even get that much bar. Like he's not even gonna cut.
Exactly.
Well, what I mean is like the value, like valuing Tian Lang that highly.
But games don't usually.
I guess it really does depend on the account.
We're not in a meta that games really end like at the snap of a finger like that anymore, though. Like they usually drag out, and in those drag out fights, like Tian Lang reducing the effectiveness of like those bar gains is really important.
The thing is, like Ragdoll's passive is more applicable than Tian Lang's passive, but Tian Lang's kit is 10 times better than Ragdoll's.
Ragdoll has no kit.
That's why Tian Lang is crazy.
Ragdoll has a dot.
And
No,
and
no,
Tian
no.
Lang is
No, I still like Ragdoll more. You guys don't understand. Okay, but I need to say this. You have Tian Lang, I have Ragdoll. He says he wants Veronica. Obabo, what is your most wanted LD5?
Tian Lang.
if I
Wedjat.
speak, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. No. But I would. Okay, what's my most wanted right now? I mean, it's probably I'm saying Nikki for a little bit right now.
Nicki's a good choice.
But like if I was talking about like pure like winning, I pick Tian Lang.
Yeah.
Because I'm confident enough in my like turn 1 runes that I won't have to resort into like Ragdoll too often. Meanwhile, like Tian Lang would let me win
You can
Ragdoll matchups
splash him way
harder.
more often.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I am confident in my turn 1 runes as well, but I love Ragdoll.
E-gen. But honestly, I own my most wanted LD5 now, and it was Tian Lang.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so
That
good.
is
to hear.
actually, but the only reason I wanted him was because of how much he countered Verd.
Yeah.
That's like I'm so
despise
two-headed
Verd
about it.
and
I'm not even
Ragdoll.
joking.
Yeah.
It's literally just because of Verd. I'm like, I want Tian Lang more than anything. I got him, and I can't get anything else.
Own
I
the
peaked.
most wanted unit I wanted, which is
Ragdoll?
Artemil.
You got him like
Yeah,
8 years.
you had him. That everyone wanted Artemil back in the day, though. He was the poster child, and he was good. Like in the first couple seasons of RTA, he was like a fucking menace.
No,
But
he's heavily replaced.
and when crit bug was a thing, oh my god.
I mean, it's still good now. If you guys ever have a hard time against this combination, Juno Masha, dude, he destroys Juno Masha.
I mean, Arta, like that's the thing. Like people, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's like ACOG's propaganda, but
It is. It's part of
because
it.
Arta spent like 53% win rate. For the
I
last
like
10
him,
seasons.
man. I don't know. I don't get the hate. I don't get
If
it.
they give me the right comps, I don't see how he's something to complain about. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely worse than Water Holly.
I run
I can
absolutely
see it-
nothing
I can see
on
it
crit
kinda
rate,
when-
and
I
I
can
still
see it
have
a
trouble
bit-
with him sometimes.
Yeah, like I can see it a bit when Kinky was at his peak,
Yeah.
but now the Kinky is like not that applicable anymore. I feel like Arta is still like a really good counter pick.
This
Thompson has
scumbag
it.
right here, Zigbear just said, I have problem with him sometimes and he looks away. Like he
Yeah.
never has problem with Artemil.
No, dude, that thing every now and then he just
Don't
gets.
lie to me.
No, dude, if
I'm
he
sensitive
breaks
about
your
it.
Wind Robo S2 into S3 chain, like shit can get ugly.
Over.
Yeah.
Zigbear stuns your Wind Robo? If your Wind Robo is built on crit rate?
Well, no, my Wind Robo's on 15 crit rate, but he hits
thing is-
57 times.
I think it's I haven't really
When are
fought
you
it, but I
not
feel like,
gonna crit? Come on.
It's not scary. Come on.
It's not
Unless,
scary, but
unless
it
you
adds
pick
that
the
element.
I get it. Like he's a great counter pick into a lot of good crit rate units, but then like other than that, like that's what he is.
yeah, he is. But
No, there's that guy
I haven't
in
really fought
G3.
it.
Have you guys fought that guy in G3 who first picks Light Monkey and then goes to this like total degen like Molly, Arta,
Yes, I have fought
Kinky, and what the hell's that? The Light Bulwark, the fucking
Yeah, I've fought it.
Gelnir. That it's
I thought they should
dude.
do again.
There's so many things that can go wrong, dude. It's like my comp,
Thing is-
like to me in my head, I'm like, this is perfect for me, and then just shit just starts going wrong left and right.
Like, that guy just like picked triple AoE strip, like double robos, another strip,
Yeah,
and then like Charlotte. And then just
yeah,
run him
that's the
over,
plan.
basically.
I mean, that's what I pick versus everybody, but it's just like things just start fucking. You miss on that thing, and the Kinky does this, and the fucking. It's weird.
I'm starting
What, you
off.
pick Wind Robo against that guy?
Oh hell yeah!
Because like the thing is, Wind Robo is like a stripper that's still a CC unit, and those are super good into slow people. So
Yeah.
like Chong Pong is also insane against them.
Yep.
Because you get another chance to like strip his.
And the
whatever
defense
unit,
break
like the
is
Light Monkey.
super good to like
Yeah.
actually get through that guy because everything's got
So,
a gazillion
so you have
health.
you have like double strippers that actually CC the enemy, plus you have like Dark Robo that still does a lot of damage to him,
Yep,
and you're
Do you
basically
guys like
set.
Chum Pong on Despair more or Violent more?
Despair.
I remember
Despair.
my last game I got
Violent,
queued into Firas. And I think my Chung Pong AoE stunned his whole team. Right?
Get fucked
actually,
for
now
us.
you reminded me, you sacking piece of baloney. Yeah, that
Okay, wait.
did happen.
I could say one thing though. I can say one thing that Sig will actually agree with me on. Like, violent Chongpong is better on Chongpong. Like, violent Chongpong is better in bad Chongpong situations.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Despair Chongpong is better in like good situations.
Yeah,
for
of
Chongpong.
course.
Yeah. So that's basically how it is. Like violent
Because
Chongpong.
it's always better to be on Despair when the Chongpong is clicking his third skill first, and that's the situation you want your Chongpong in.
Yes.
So that's my logic, at least.
I pick free-to-play units against Firas. This guy last picks Pater Tian Lang. He gets mad at me for Despair procking on him.
What's a free to play unit to you? Like,
Honestly,
was there
like,
Nat
no
4s in there? Okay. Yeah.
I like
Oh.
how the first game I take Fire Bayek into, and I'm fighting a Verana Neftis Yon Hong, and I don't know if this is a proper way to test this idiot.
But you don't even have Molly. You don't even have the comp that I was referring to. You don't even have the
Fire
other.
Bayek?
It's a 2-unit comp, and you don't even have the second unit.
Get out of here! I know what I'm doing. Oh, he left it. Oh my.
But yeah, all right, we gotta call it. This is the
All right, yeah,
longest
we-
podcast ever. This is
Oh,
past
2.5
my
hours?
bedtime too, man. Like, what the hell's going on?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for joining.
I have a flight in 12 hours, and I'm.
Oh, for the meetup? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're still watching this, go to Vancouver in 12 hours and you can see for us. Even though
And
this will
I'll
probably go up
let you
after
know
that
when
happens, but whatever.
And you can see my bike, how it performs, and maybe Thompson will be there. He's not
Yeah.
going to be there.
All
We
right.
want him there, though. We want him there.
All right. Peace out.
Okay, bye. Good night.